It's
Called up collector, here to show off stuff and chat with you. Called up collector, movies and more is what we do. Called up collector, sit back and relax, here comes the show. Called up collector, 3, 2, 1, here we go.
What's going on, everybody? We're so sorry for being late. There's always something going on with audio, and it's back now.
It's back.
Yeah, it was gone. It's back. It's
gone, it's
feeding
back.
back from you, Geno, where you're not running headphones.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, it's like an echo. It's picking up that echo. That's what's going on. Just run it as long as you can. Okay. Oh, sorry, everybody. Thank you, everybody. We're Cult of Collectors. It's going to be me, Jody, and Lauren eventually, and we're joined today with Geno, but we'll wait and introduce him after he gets back.
Yeah.
Gets everything fixed. StreamYard's a pain in the butt sometimes. But any stream is going to be a pain in the butt if you're not kind of running semi, professional equipment, microphone, headphone setup generally. But the old cell phones are difficult to use.
Yeah, for sure. They're not friendly with those at all.
No.
I'm even having problems tonight. Luckily, everybody can hear me, but I can't hear myself. So we're just gonna figure tonight out.
Yeah.
If I get too loud, I apologize.
We'll have some fun tonight. Get back into talking. We'll talk to Geno and see what he's been up to, and what he's with his current interests and things he's working on, and we'll start out with showing kind of what we picked up this week. Have you picked up very much news?
I got one thing brand new, and then I added some stuff to the collection that's not necessarily new titles. They're just new to me.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a few new things that came out this week. Then I've got just some Blu-rays that I picked up just because I didn't have the movies, and I can get on that kick and pick up some stuff that I don't have, and just on Blu-ray, at least I have it on Blu-ray. Because my big thing about Blu-ray, I'll pick a movie up whatever format except for VHS, of course. But I'll pick up any format that I can get a movie on that I don't have. But my big thing about Blu-ray, and I think this is how most collectors are, is the Blu-ray, the disc itself has so much more longevity potential, just because of this anti-scratch coating and things like that. So that's my general consensus with Blu-ray versus the DVD, is it has that coating. And I wish they'd done that with CDs, because I do not have a CD collection at all, really, just because when I was younger, I took care of DVDs when they came out because I wanted to keep them in the cases. But for some reason, my CD collection, I just would throw them when I was driving, I just throw them in the seat.
Hello.
We can hear you, buddy.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I had a really awesome CD collection, and then
This works.
the day I got iTunes, I upload them all, and I got rid of like 90% of them, which is super sad. Oh, there we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, not getting any problems now.
Sounds good.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right. Yeah, you're coming in clear, man.
Sounds good. Well, everybody, this is Geno Cuddy. He is I don't know what to really call you, film historian.
Yeah, I'm film historian, television host and producer, film critic. You could technically call me a film critic because I write for a blog. So
He's a man of many hats.
Yeah.
So what have you kind of been into lately? What's your kind of new project or anything you've been working on, or anything you've been reviewing? Or
Well, I just wrapped up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're going to be coming back, and we're going to be, probably discussing some books related to this subject. But myself, Nick Sheehan, and Clive Davis recently wrapped up reviewing pretty much all the available films of William S. Hart on our podcast, Heart to Heart, the William S. Hart podcast. I mean, there are a few other things, like a few strays, like, there's like, his autobiography. There's a few books that there's a few other things that he's written, and a few other like little outlier films, or whatever. But pretty much that project is just about done. And just wanted to give a little bit of a update on the ongoing restoration of his last film, Tumbleweeds, that I'm a part of, along with Eric Grayson and so a few other people are on board. We're inching a little bit closer to this thing being a reality, because we got word today from the Library of Congress that the last reel has been digitized. We're just waiting to get it from them.
Nice.
So and then Eric has to get the soundtrack from elsewhere, because the reel didn't have a soundtrack on it. Because see, what we're restoring, even though it's a silent film, what we're restoring is the 1939 Astor Pictures sound reissue. They had a music track and sound effects and a rather emotional introduction by William S. Hart. So we're restoring that, and the odd reel that we were missing does not have a soundtrack on it, so we need to pull that soundtrack from elsewhere, and then it all needs to be restored, cleaned up, and everything else. And there'll be some commentary tracks and probably a few other extras. I'm pulling, to hopefully draw in more of a wider physical media audience. Maybe do a SteelBook run. Maybe do, like limited edition, like mini poster, lobby card, postcard type deals. Stuff like that, limited editions and whatever. I don't know if we have the budget for all that, because I think the restoration for the film itself is going to cost well over $5,000. So there's going to be a lot of money going out. So there will be a Kickstarter for this, by the way. And when that goes live, I'll be sending the links out to people, and maybe you guys can promote it on Cult of Collectors and whatever.
Definitely.
Very nice. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to get into recent pickups or anything. I don't know if you guys have picked up anything recently.
Yeah, I have, and Joey has, but you can, being the guest, you can go ahead and start up. I know you've picked up some things you were telling me about.
Oh, yeah.
He's excited about it.
I guess first I'll start off with probably what's going to probably excite people a lot the most is these two Blu-rays from Classic Flicks, the Fleischer Cartoons Volume 1, Fleischer Cartoons Greatest Hits Volume 1, and the
nice.
Famous Studios Champion Collection. Now, what these are is basically a collection of fully restored, digitally restored animated films from both the Fleischer Studio and the succeeding Famous Studios. Because see, when the Fleischer Studios were eventually absorbed by Paramount, they were rechristened Famous Studios after, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, an in-house music label that Paramount ran, and I think also the Famous Players Lasky Corporation. So these are two beautifully restored Blu-rays, highly recommended. Especially this one, I have to say. I mean, this one is just as great, but this one is the one I was most excited about, because if you've at all grown up with public domain VHS tapes of old cartoons, you would have more than likely ran across a lot of the cartoons on here, especially like some of the very early Casper the Friendly Ghost cartoons. I'm happy to report that pretty much all those early public domain Casper the Friendly Ghost cartoons are on this Blu-ray, digitally restored. They look better than they've ever looked before in their life.
Oh, wow.
Original Paramount titles. Like, you could see each brushstroke in the backgrounds of these. Like literally in the cell work, like, it is beautiful. Like the color, it's just, I was in tears basically watching, some of the cartoons on this set. Like, I watched A Haunting We Will Go, which is a Casper cartoon. I also watched There's Good Booze Tonight, which is also a Casper cartoon. And then there's like some Little Audrey cartoons on here. I think some Little Lulus as well. Baby Huey, Herman the Mouse, Blackie Sheep and Wolfie. dazzling Technicolor. So there's a lot of great stuff on here, ranging from 1943 to 1950. And then there's also audio commentaries by people like Jerry Beck, Bob Jakes. Bob Jakes was actually an animator who worked on the original Ren and Stimpy TV show back in the day. You also get Will Friedwald, Thad Komorowski, Mike Kazala, and Rob Waldman. And Rob Waldman, I believe, is a descendant of Fleischer and famous animator Myron Waldman. Then you get some bonus shorts, Spree for All and Cat o' Nine Tails. Sadly, one of those is only in black and white, and the other one is only picture. You got production artwork galleries. Now, these two Blu-rays, I have to stress this, are a big friggin' deal, because this is the first time ever that Paramount Pictures has actually taken notice of their animation collection. You know, their rich legacy of animation, because these are the first time that anything from the Paramount vaults themselves and involvement from Paramount has happened. Like Thad Komorowski of Cartoon Logic and Maurice Alvarado of Fabulous Fleischer Cartoons Restored. Both of those individuals went in and said to Paramount, and I don't know how they did it. Like, sadly, I'm on the outs of those guys, but I don't know how they managed to convince Paramount finally to be like, hey, this stuff is just collecting dust in these vaults. Let's finally release them on Blu-ray. So yeah, if you've only grown up with like those old Casper cartoons on horrible nth generation 16mm prints and Baby Huey and stuff like that, like, you will be in for a treat when you see the cartoons on this. It's currently on Amazon. It's currently also on Classic Flix's website itself. So yeah, I highly recommend the Famous Studios Champion Collection, and the Champion Collection being named after the fact that when these cartoons were reissued to theaters, they were called a Paramount Champion. So that's why it's called the Champion Collection. And also the Fleischer Cartoons Greatest Hits Volume 1, which contains a lot of the silent Coco the Clown cartoons, some Betty Boop cartoons, and a Popeye the Sailor color cartoon. And for the first time ever on Blu-ray, a couple of Fleischer Color Classics, which the Fleischer Color Classics were, in essence, his response to Walt Disney's Silly Symphony cartoon. So you got Small Fry from 1939 and the very dazzling Technicolor treat, Somewhere in Dreamland. So I definitely, and you get surrealism like Swing You Sinners, Mysterious Moe's, and you get the one of the first ever Superman cartoons, the Mechanical Monsters. So yeah, and Christmas Comes Once a Year, Cartoon Factory, Barnacle Bill from 1930. You also get Dizzy Dishes, which was Betty Boop's first animated appearance, back when she started out as a dog. Yes, Betty Boop, this lady right here, started out as a dog before she became a human being. So yeah, Betty Boop was kind of a trendsetter in that way. So yeah, so you got so definitely pick these up, because if you do wind up supporting these releases and picking them up, there will be additional volumes likely released. So you got to support, if you're going to support anything, support this stuff, because it's highly recommended. If you at all love Fleischer cartoons or vintage animation in general, these are very much worth picking up. So definitely pick these up.
Yeah, I
Nice.
went on there and ordered them while you're talking about them, because
John's all over that.
I have some of the Fleischer Superman cartoons.
Yeah.
I would go over and pull them, but I don't know exactly what order they're in over there. But yeah, I definitely I like those old ones. Those were especially restored onto Blu-ray. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially had the Betty Boop. They ran a Betty Boop cartoon in front of the Bringing Up Baby when me and Mike went and seen it. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Hey, Lauren.
Hi.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey, sorry.
You snuck in here.
Yeah, I just thinking. Yeah, it was nice to hear all of that about Betty Boop and stuff. I didn't know that she was a dog originally. So I learned something today.
Yeah,
Already.
If you watch the early, like really pre-code Betty Boops, a lot of them are really surreal and off the wall. Like Bimbo's Initiation is like one of the weirdest cartoons you'll ever likely see, but it's brilliant. It's wonderful. Oh, it's great.
That's really cool.
And a couple other recent pickups. I mean, aside from my massive Sinister Cinema pickups that I've had recently from their $98 special sale, I picked this up on eBay, the Charles Starrett Durango Kid collection, 10 feature films. This has The Fighting Frontiersman, Blazing Across the Pecos, Laramie, Trail of the Rustlers, Streets of Ghost Town, Lightning Gun, Snake River Desperados, Bonanza Town, The Hawk of Wild River, and The Kid from Broken Gun. And basically, the Durango Kid was a masked vigilante character who basically, you know, was on the side of good. He thwarted like looters, land grabbers, claim jumpers, and his sidekick was actually Smiley Burnett, who was Gene Autry's sidekick back in the Republic days, and even into some of the later Columbia films. I still got cartoons on the brain, unfortunately. And just wrapping up the final two pickups that I have right here. I picked up a couple of Buck Jones titles, and this is going to be a part of a bigger box.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs.
Oh no.
Oh, is he freezing up? Oh no, Geno!
Always. Really cool stuff, though, if you can still hear me. Yeah.
Oh. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're just
audio, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not going to do here.
yeah, your audio's kind of in and out
What
too.
am I going to do?
Have to leave and come back in.
This thing is burning up hot too. You know what?
No.
Overheating.
This is gonna be
Well,
one of those
everybody,
fun
let's,
technical shows.
Well,
Technical difficulties.
just leave.
Yeah,
and come
you
back
should have been
in.
here for the beginning,
I'm
man.
gonna drop you, Geno, and then you can come back in here in a minute whenever you get everything settled.
I like it. Well, if we're doing new pickups, I got one like new thing, and then the other handful of things are like things that have been out, but I just happened to finally get them.
Okay.
But this finally came in the mail because if there's one old Blu-ray Steelbook I was never able to get because it's so hard, it's 30 Days of Night. So when they announced the new 4K Steelbook and then the UK did this slip edition, I had to grab it.
Fuck.
I know, right? I know.
love that artwork.
This, and it's the same that's on the steel. This just came with like a booklet. You get a booklet with it. So I like that it's the same artwork on the Steelbook itself.
Oh my God.
And even cooler artwork on the back. Look at that.
Oh my God. I love that so much.
It's so good. I haven't even checked out the inside. Hang on. Oh, there's a poster.
Show me
Ooh.
the inside.
Hang on, let me get the disc out. There's a poster in there. That's cool.
Oh, nice.
Well, I mean, it's kind of cool. You get two different images. So you get
Oh, okay.
that one behind there, and if I can get the non-glare. So it's kind of cool. It's not like a full image, but it's two different images. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, the back of the steelbook is gorgeous.
Oh, the back of the steelbook is wild. That's awesome.
Right?
Let's see. Is this poster the cover of the steelbook? Let's see. Or is this the original? Oh no, yeah, it's the cover. So you get a poster of the cover.
Nice.
Oh, awesome. It's beautiful artwork.
It really is.
Who released that?
Yeah.
It's under Ion Films.
That's UK, you said?
Well, you can get it. I'm pretty sure the US got the steelbook, but to get it in this slip with the booklet and the poster, it was UK. Okay. I got mine through the Movie Room. I'm not sure if they still have any in stock, but that's where I got mine.
Got it.
And then a steelbook that came out a while back, but I didn't get it, but I found one, so I grabbed it. But it was that new Mummy steelbook.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
I thought that was
minimalist, but really cool.
I know, right? I really like
I like that.
You even get a little bit of artwork on the inside there.
Ooh,
Yep.
Yep.
And then a release that I bought the steelbook for, but didn't get the big edition, and then I acquired the big edition. So now I got the big edition of Clueless.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's so pretty. I love
I
that.
know, right? It comes with the same steelbook that we got with the the dress pattern.
Yeah.
But it's just a cool slip, and it comes with cards and shit.
As
So I
That's
thought
kinda
that was cool,
disappointing.
right?
About the steelbook part, at least, not the
Yeah, I
outer
know.
covers. The stuff it comes with, it's cool.
Like, I kind of wish. I mean, I don't know. They just make her look so silly on the steelbook. I don't.
I love her character so much because she
Yeah.
does play like the title Clues, where she kind of is just like, oh, I'm just a little blonde ditz, but at the same time, she turns around like and immediately, and it's just like, no. Like, I
All
love
right.
how
Oh,
it
did Geno
plays
just
like the
drop out?
duality of that kind of character.
Geno
Yeah.
came back and he dropped out. I don't know if he froze up again. Yeah, I'm sorry, Geno, if you're having trouble. I apologize to you.
I also got I got some VHS pickups. You want to see some VHS pickups?
Yeah, let's go.
No.
No.
I'm joking.
That'd be great. No. I if there's a box that holds these, I need to find the box. But I haven't looked too hard into it, so there very well could be. But I got the entire like Superman set.
Nice.
Oh, very cool.
And they're cool so this one's the only one that's just like the like original poster, but the rest of them are cool framed out images.
Oh, yes,
I
yes.
know.
Yeah.
And I was like, why aren't these inside of their own little box? I feel like they should be. And they might have, but the guy that was selling them only had them individually.
Yeah.
Aren't those like sort of especially the last two, 3 and 4, aren't those sort of the cover art? I can't remember exactly what the cover
Yeah,
art was.
yeah. They just kind of like
Poster art,
framed it
excuse me.
out a little bit. Yeah.
It's
And then
kinda
I know I showed off the laser disc
those look
last
good,
week.
though.
I know I love them. But I got the VHS for leaving the cube now.
Nice. You can just watch
Bless
it.
you. I think
Thank you.
Watch it in any format.
I can watch it in almost any format now. As soon as I can get a bootleg Blu-ray, that'd be nice. And then to kind of top it all off, because tonight, guys, can we talk about what a suck-ass 48 hours it's been?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Lauren's allergic to the whole situation.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's my complaint on it.
But
I said all I needed to say.
But I went and I bought a 300 tape collection, VHS tape collection. And I haven't even gone through it yet. I just opened up the tops just to make sure I wasn't getting robbed.
I'm gonna let you talk, Jody. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get a tissue.
And am I freezing?
I'm
Oh
trying to
God,
start
she's dying.
He's trying to start a thrift store. It'd be cool,
Dude.
if it were.
It's gonna end up. I'm gonna end up having a VHS whatnot show is what's gonna happen. But what I thought was crazy because I got it yesterday. As soon as I opened up the top, one of the top 2 VHS just sitting there was 9 to 5 and Still Magnolias.
Wow. Is one of them
That's
sealed?
crazy. That's it's not Still, but it still has the original shrink on it.
Oh, while we're in between there, I wanted to say hey to everybody. We got Ray, Chris, Big Nat. I guess it's Big Nat 007. How you go? Jennifer Kemp, if you're still around. Still raising 4Ks. What? No.
Oh, sorry.
Kidding.
I had to go in there and tell everybody.
Actually, I can put that stuff, even though we don't have too much of a moving chat. But thank you guys for being here tonight. Sorry we don't have a giveaway this evening, but
No, we should have some more coming. So sooner we'll definitely have something.
we'll talk about it later on. But I was thinking maybe there's some like cool pop-up things, some things that incentivize people to come back, but we don't announce we're having not necessarily a movie, but maybe something movie related.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you guys can looking for it, but I have no idea what it's going to be. It literally, I just thought about it earlier when after we were started. I was like, man, it might be cool to have some kind of a surprise thing that you just have that maybe incentivizes people to come back and check out the show for a little bit to see what we might be giving away sometime.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So everybody look out for something like that in the future. We'll figure it out. But what was I getting at too? What was I talking about? I got derailed off from what I was my train of thought there. Oh yeah, I was just saying hey to everybody, and we appreciate you guys stopping by this evening. Feel free to comment still if you have any questions and keep us entertained. Oh yeah, what I was thinking about is I haven't, and Geno brought her up earlier, but Stacy hadn't been here in a while. I don't know. I hope we didn't
Oh
rub her
yeah.
off by not talk. It's hard to answer those questions when we have guests on. It's hard to, and we did answer a couple, but you just can't. And I love her being here. I love the questions, but just kind of weird. But when you have a big guest on, it's hard to, kind of answer questions constantly from her. But I always appreciate it. Oh, I want to say what's that? Scads Blu-rays over on Instagram. Did you start your Instagram?
I did. I actually
Okay.
remember this time, so that was good.
I wish it didn't work like that, but
I know, right? Over
kind of a
on
manual deal. Oh, there's Geno. He came back. Hell, what's up, Geno? You made it back.
Yeah, it's going to work because you guess what I'm having to use for this right now? I'm having to use a really busted up laptop where the screen is broken and there's a key missing on the keyboard. And yeah, I need to get this dad lesson thing repaired, but it seems to be working. So,
the camera and microphone are working great.
yeah, and there doesn't seem to be any lag. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna. When I get paid tomorrow from work, I'm going to invest the money into getting this one repaired.
There you go.
So I guess while Lauren's taking probably a much needed potty break.
She's sneezing up a storm. I don't know what's going on. There she's back now. There she comes.
I didn't die. I'm okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here. Hi.
So as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by the U.S. and hopefully Homestar Runner fans are in attendance tonight because let me just shut some things down here. I got some stupid things running that shouldn't be running, so hopefully that exits. Hopefully Homestar Runner fans are watching because I was invaded by the USB dongle goblin. That's a deep cut for you Homestar Runner fans. Team Girl Squad, remember those days?
That's funny.
So as I was saying, here are a couple of Buck Jones collections because I'm actually expecting in a shipment of like over 18 other Buck Jones DVDs.
Oh, nice.
So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be exciting. And let me just talk a little bit about Buck Jones while I show this off. This has 9 films on it: Men Without Law, The Avenger, Branded, The Deadline, Range Feud, Forbidden Trail, The Thrill Hunter, The California Trail, and Unknown Valley. So basically who Buck Jones was, and he's also on my shirt.
There you go.
That I'm wearing.
There you go.
Buck Jones was a cowboy star who came to films in the silent era, but really made his best films in the sound era, I think. He made his best films for Columbia Pictures, but he worked for a variety of different studios. He also worked for Universal, and he also did some serials for Universal, including this one, The Phantom Rider, which was restored from 2K Elements and Universal Archives, and contains liner notes by film historian Toby Rowan. It's like 15 chapters now. You can't sit down and watch a serial all in one go because it's like well over 3 hours worth of film. So it's best to either watch 1 or 2 at a time. But Buck Jones was so cool, man. Like he was one of the coolest cowboy stars. Like there's a later film that he did when he partnered up with Tim McCoy for the Rough Rider series, and a film called Arizona Bound. Basically, there's a scene in that where Buck Jones stampedes a bunch of horses while there's a shootout going on. There's a big shootout going on in the city. And basically, he stampedes a bunch of these horses. And what happens from there is Buck Jones rides his horse Silver into the saloon, like not just through a door. He rides through the glass window in the saloon, takes a shot, climbs off his horse and says, "Drop those guns." Like basically takes whole command of the scene. Really cool stuff. So yeah, if you ever look into Buck Jones, just great stuff there. And this will probably be good. Again, haven't opened these at all because I've just been so busy. That and the Durango Kid. Now, before I go into the other Westerns, I need to take this opportunity to take Walmart to task for something.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Okay. This is a Geno Cuddy rant meltdown exclusive.
I like it.
Okay.
I went into Walmart the other day because I had gotten paid from work and I had gotten quite a sizable chunk of change. And so I saw a certain item on the store shelf and I was ecstatic when I saw it and for such a cheap price. But then I took it home and I found out why it was such a cheap price.
Oh no.
And what am I talking about? This monstrosity, the Universal Classic Monsters collection. It says all 30 classic monster films and the pack, and it looks really nice, right? All the artwork and everything. Here's the problem that I have with it, though.
Yeah.
It's in one of these cases.
I hate those cases.
I hate these with a passion.
Yeah.
There's the big books. I hate that.
I mean, look at this. I mean, it's such a mess, and I have a disc that's falling out, and they're all stacked on top of each other. It's such a mess. Like, dude, you do not package discs this way.
No.
And this is why I'm especially mad at Walmart, because the original set that I had of this is my second version of this set that I bought, or had to exchange, and I'll get into that because I took the original version of that set home, another copy of this home, and I found out, and I opened it and I was like, oh, one of the mummy discs is scuffed up really bad. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to go back to Walmart and get a refund. So I go into Walmart because I already had something else to refund anyway, another pair of these headphones, because of the fact that it was only coming out of the left ear because, I wanted to be on the careful side and buy 2 pairs of headphones. So, something happened there. Am I still on?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Am I
kind of
still here?
glitching out.
A little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay, good.
Called up.
I guess
Yeah,
Sam
there we go.
Walton. I guess the ghost of Sam Walton is listening in on this conversation. So I went and I tried to get a refund on this, and they were like, "No, you can only exchange it for the same item." And I'm like, "Excuse me?" So I can't get my money back. So I have to go and get another one of these, and that'll be an even exchange. I can't get a refund on this. So even though we are big proponents of physical media here on Cult of Collectors, I do have to say, don't buy your physical media at Walmart, especially if it's something like this that's packaged horribly. Like if it's like a single Blu-ray or DVD or something, that's fine. Like there shouldn't be any issues with that. But if it's a big monstrosity behemoth like that, don't bother. And so that's why, thankfully, because the reason why I bought this is because I wanted to get the Invisible Man films and the Phantom of the Opera and the Creature from the Black Lagoon because I didn't have those. Thank God, though, I already had these at home.
There you go.
Because, and say what you will about these and the fact that you get like House of Frankenstein and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, like 10 of these collections 2 times over. At least they're packaged nice. Here's the Wolfman. All the Wolfman films are in here. And look at how these are nicely packaged. Like this.
Yeah.
That's much better in comparison to that. So yeah, I'm gonna hold on to these. And I just unsealed this for tonight's show because I cannot in good faith sell this to somebody on eBay or anywhere else. I just can't, because if I were to sell this to somebody on eBay, knowing what a piece of crap it is, I would be struck down as the heathen I am. So yeah, thank God I still had these. Thank God.
I like it.
So in addition to that problem, I don't know if anybody here remembers the old tape trading days. You really wanted a movie you sent away for, for somebody to tape it for you, or you would trade tapes back and forth.
Yeah.
I didn't really do it because we just didn't, like where I'm from, we just didn't have that kind of network. I didn't grow up around a large area, and I just didn't, like all of my friends, we didn't do that. I don't know why. I just missed out on like a lot of things because that's how that's what drove anime up. That's what got people was able to see anime in the 80s were those kind of underground tape trading groups, you know.
Well, I guess the successor to that would be DVD trading, and that's what I've done. There's a nice guy on Facebook named Bill Miller, and he has like a whole bunch of westerns, like a whole bunch of the B westerns and silent westerns that I love. And so I traded him a bunch of Sunset Carson films and some episodes of Sunset Carson's TV show and a few silent westerns. And the man is so generous. He's like Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Look at this stack of, these are all separate movies. Well, some of them have like a bunch of different movies on them. Look at this stack he sent me of DVDs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 50 discs right here. I'm not going to go through every single title because by the time I do, well, Jody, for one thing, your beard will be completely white.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
and probably all my hair would have fallen out, and I would look like death warmed over. But yeah, just great bunch of stuff in there, like a bunch of Tim McCoy Columbia films, and some silent stuff in there, some Hoot Gibson early Universal stuff from early 30, stuff that you're just not going to find anywhere. Like, stuff that, like here, Western Code, for example, 1932, Tim McCoy. This is, something, taped off of Encore Westerns, because it was just taped off of TV. Like you get like 30 minutes in and you see the Encore Westerns logo in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And you're like, oh, okay. But hey, it looked good. And the cool thing about this movie is there's a shootout on the top of a moving train at the beginning of this film, so it's pretty cool. Really action-packed, really good stuff in the Western Code. I can't wait to dig into some of these other ones. But what I have recently come into possession of, aside from the stuff that I already showed off, and I wanted to finish up my Buck Jones story. See, I'm rattled tonight because of all the tech issues. The sad thing about Buck Jones is that he perished in a rather horrendous way. In November of, I believe, 1946, I'd have to look through the dates again, but there was a really, really bad fire in Massachusetts, in Boston, Massachusetts. If you look it up, it's the Coconut Grove nightclub fire. Which took the lives of over 492 people. And Buck Jones was one of the guys that died in that fire. And the cool thing, and this will tell you about the legend of Buck Jones. For years and years and years, it was thought that Buck Jones actually left the building and ran back in to save people. But unfortunately, the real story is a lot more grim and sad, in which he was just as much a victim as everybody else. But yeah, Buck Jones, one of the best cowboy stars of all time, sadly perished in a rather deadly Coconut Grove nightclub fire. But great stuff that he did. But the main crux of my collection that I wanted to show off tonight was there's this company in the Medford, Oregon area named Sinister Cinema, and it's run by a gentleman by the name of Greg Luce. And this label specializes in B-Westerns, which I love, horror films of all types. They even sell Severin Blu-rays. And they sell like pulp novels, sword and sandal movies, you name it, they probably have it. Yeah. And so they have twice per year what they call their $98 special sale, which basically means you could get 12 titles for just $98 shipped, which is really pretty awesome, actually. And especially, I'm sorry, were you going to say something?
I said that's actually quite good. I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, I mean, let me just show you and what you typically get. Let me just show you one of the things that I got. I got here's a volume of Hoot Gibson Westerns, and you get 4 of them, in a set. So can you imagine, 4 movies, 12 of these with 4 movies on them each, for only $98? You do the math, I'm I'm not Homer Hickam. I'm not Mr. October Sky. I can't do math, you know, but I think that's pretty good. You know? And some of these are actually transferred from 35 millimeter film, you know, like really good film elements. I mean, I will go so far as to say that the Sinister Cinema copy of The Tollgate starring William S. Hart from 1920 is probably the best version of that film that I've seen. Like even better than the official restoration, because you know the official restoration is nice up until the final reel when you know starts deteriorating. The Sinister Cinema version is actually really good, and also he has the best version of Ken Maynard's $50,000 reward that I've ever seen, and I love that film to death. Just action packed, just awesomeness. So yeah, you know, so let me just quickly show off this one box. I'm not going to go through everything because it's already like 8:51 at night, and I'm sure that I'm probably boring people to tears. But this is what I got for my first $98 special sale. Oh, wow. This goodness!
There you go.
Oh,
That's awesome.
And so I got Hoot Gibson's Volume 1 through 4, Ken Maynard's Volumes 1 through 7, John Wayne Volume 1. Now the John Wayne films in this collection, it's interesting because these aren't the Searchers or the Comancheros or anything that he did later. What these are his monogram pictures, B westerns that he did in the early 30s. So you get stuff like Riders of Destiny, Sagebrush Trail, Man from Utah, and Paradise Canyon, all from 35 millimeter.
No.
And another thing that I got was the first volume.
Stagecoach days. Yeah.
Right. No. But post what was the movie that really made him big? I think it was called The Big Trail. I think was the film that made him big. And then I got a collection of Bill Cody westerns. Now, who's Bill Cody? Well, he was a minor league cowboy star who made silent films, but he also ventured into sound films. He actually holds the distinction of being in probably the worst B western of all time. Although now, having seen a lot of these, I can pretty much contest that. A film called The Border Menace from 1934, directed by Jack Nelson and written by the legendary, although not for the right reasons, Robert J. Horner. And the reason why my friend Christopher Snowden, who's been a long-standing Sinister Cinema customer and everything, recommended this set to me for the beautiful print of Frontier Days that's on here. And the cool thing about Frontier Days is either it's already passed or it's going to happen. There's going to be a screening of this particular restoration that's on this set. There's going to be a screening of the particular restoration that's on this set at Lone Pine, California, where it was actually filmed originally. So that's going to be cool coming up. Now, that's the first box. Let me just put this box on the floor here because I'm such a madman. You know, go ahead.
No, I had some great stuff. I like to have some of that stuff too.
And so I decided to participate in a $12 special like 2 more times after that. And so look at that.
Hell yeah.
And so what I have in here are a bunch of like Tim McCoy's later stuff that he did for Puritan and Victory Pictures. I have, let me see if
all of that is him?
What?
Is it all of that is him? Like his works or what have you?
No, well, there's 4 volumes of his. There's 9 volumes of Bob. There's 9 volumes of Bob Steele. There's 8 volumes of Tom Tyler, Red Russell Volume 1, Big Boy Williams Volume 1, and Yakima Canutt Volume 1. So let me get into some of these people, some of the stuff here. Let me see if I can find a good cover. Here's a good cover for Bob Steele. Yeah, here's Bob Steele in a nice poster for The Law of Rides. And you may or may not recognize that face because he's, in addition to making a lot of these Westerns, his real name was Robert Adrian Bradbury. His father was Robert North Bradbury, who was a prolific filmmaker. You may recognize him as the villain Lash Canino from the Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall film, The Big Sleep. And he also played the fiendish Curly in the 1939 Lon Chaney adaptation of Mice and Men. And he probably his other great claim to fame for a lot of baby boomers, at least. He played Duffy on the popular TV series F Troop in the
nice.
60s.
Yeah.
So yeah, good old Bob Steele.
Cool.
There's a film of his that I'm really wanting to see called Trail of Terror, because I saw a trailer for it like a long time ago, and basically he's riding like a waterlogged down ravine in the trailer. So I can't wait to see that and see how that coincides with the rest of the plot. So yeah, let me put that back, and let me see. Where's the good volume of Tim McCoy? Here's a good Tim McCoy volume with Lightning Bill Carson. Now, here's the funny thing about Lightning Bill Carson. He made Lightning Bill Carson for Puritan Pictures, but then when he moved over to Victory Pictures, I'm sorry, I know I keep cutting out. When he moved over to Victory, they made a sequel to this called Lightning Bill Carson Rides Again. Pretty interesting film. And Tim McCoy was a rather interesting guy. He basically got into the film business by getting a lot of Native American people into the film industry. He was actually well received by the Arapaho tribe, and was promoted to High Eagle in the Arapaho tribe, and he knew Native American Sign Language and stuff. Like, there's actually a TV show that he did where he actually shows off some Native American Sign Language, and it's really cool to see, because he was very deeply into the customs, and he also did Wild West shows on the circus circuit back in the day. So yeah, Tim McCoy, and he and Buck Jones would later team up for the Rough Rider series at Monogram Pictures in the 1940s, which two of those I'm going to be showing off on the upcoming 5th season on my television program, Sunset Cuddy Six Gun Theater, where the theme for that season will be teamwork, where I'll be discussing a lot of the various trios and duos of the cowboy heroes. So that's Tim McCoy. Let's see. Now, somebody who's probably going to be, probably the biggest name to a lot of people is this man right here, Tom Tyler. Now, Tom Tyler was a cowboy hero, but a lot of fans nowadays would probably recognize him for 3 roles. He played Karis in the 1940 Universal film The Mummy's Hand. And he also was in a couple of comic book serials. He was the title character in Republic Pictures' The Adventures of Captain Marvel serial. And his last role was as the Phantom in the Republic Pictures Phantom serial. So that was his big claim to fame. And he was in silent films as well, silent Westerns. And some of those have been recently restored and put out on Blu-ray. So that's cool. So this is Tom Tyler, Born to Battle. Not to be confused with the Bill Cody film, Born to Battle from the Silent Days. And I got this one mainly for Rip Roarin' Buckaroo, which is a 1936, I believe, Reliable picture that he made for Bernard B. Ray. I believe that was the guy who ran Reliable. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, were you going to say something,
Really
John?
cool. No, it's really cool stuff.
And let me just wrap up with some of this stuff
I just
here.
love I just love your commentary on all this stuff, how in depth you go with it all. I love that.
Thank you.
Because I just can't do that myself as far as auditory doing that.
Well, I guess in a weird way, thank God for autism. Because I probably wouldn't be this much of a nut any other way, probably, Yeah. So this next collection is oh, hello.
Hi, sweetie.
So yeah, I know. There's a much how we've tried to there have been a lot of individuals from sports who have tried to make the transition to the big screen as actors. Probably the most famous example now of athletes who have tried to make the transition to being big screen superstars, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, right? Like, you think about him, you think about some of the others that have, like the name Lyle Alzado comes to mind. But there was a football star in the 30s by the name of Reb Russell. who they tried to make into a cowboy star. And he was not very good. I'll just say that. He was not a very good Western star at all. I mean, he'll even admit that to himself, which he does admit in an interview that he did with author John Brooker and for his book, The Happiest Trails, which is sadly out of print. But Reb Russell was a fascinating individual because he was just a big, gangly guy. And probably the more infamous film that he did was a film called Border Vengeance, not to be confused with the silent Jack Perrin film Border Vengeance. And one of my favorite scenes in Border Vengeance, the Reb Russell film, well, there's two of my favorite scenes in that. One is when I guess there's this villain who's sort of sexually harassing Reb Russell's girlfriend. And Reb Russell goes up and clobbers him. And one of the bystanders is like, oh, shucks, muley, you didn't have to be so tough on Billy. And Reb Russell's like, shut up, get out. Just he's as wooden as the table I'm sitting at right now. He's as wooden as the lumber that I interact with at work. But fascinating stuff. So a film on here that I'm really looking forward to watching because I love the title, and it was labeled as probably the best film that he ever did for Willis Kent Productions, and that's a film called The Man from Hell. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. There's a little girl in the room.
There's a child.
Yeah.
He has headphones in. She couldn't hear you. He has headphones in, so that's all right.
I meant hack.
She couldn't hear you. He has headphones in like you do. So.
Well, that's good. Glad to know that.
Right. You're all right.
Another collection that I picked up was a collection of Gwyn Big Boy Williams films. He was another cowboy star from the silent days who made the transition to sound. A couple of these are from 35 millimeter. But a collection that I can't wait to get into is this collection right here of Yakima Canutt Westerns. Now, who is Yakima Canutt? You may be wondering. Well, Yakima Canutt just happens to be probably one of the, if not the most prolific stuntman who ever lived. Like, he and John Wayne basically revolutionized fight choreography in films. Like, there's a famous sequence in, I'm not sure which film it is. The name of it is escaping me now. But there's a famous sequence where there's a bunch of like horses, like just galloping down like a dusty trail, and Yakima Canutt is basically jumping. I'm freezing again. Okay, Yakima Canutt is basically jumping from horse to horse to horse to horse. And it's awesome to watch. So he actually made some silent films, and some of those I have on here, including one that was produced by Hal Roach, who did the Laurel and Hardy comedies. So I have one here called The Devil Horse from 1925, and a couple that he made for a studio called Goodwill. I have The Iron Rider from 1926 and The Outlaw Breaker from 1926. And I have his only sound film as a lead star, which was a film called Canyon Hawks he made from 1934, the infamous John R. Fruehler and his Big Four Film Corporation. Rather interesting article I read about John Fruehler, by the way, online. I'll have to send John the link to it. It's rather fascinating, but pretty cool stuff. So I'm not going to bore you by going through every single title in this this massive box.
That's some great stuff there. That era is. I know a little bit here and there, but I'm not that fully. I've never been that fully invested in it. Not because I don't like it. It's just there's so much.
Yes.
How many B westerns did John Wayne make? He made like 200 or 300 before he even got famous, didn't he? Or is that his total movie? I can't remember, but he made like a couple hundred B's before he even got famous, before he even made something like that, crazy like that.
It's like, you know what I compare the B westerns to? Yeah. And this is probably not the most appropriate comparison, but I compare them to, like, how many of you are familiar with the films of Godfrey Ho?
I'm not familiar with him.
Okay, now that's an interesting guy. Godfrey Ho was basically this martial arts filmmaker who, in the 70s and 80s, and I think even some into the 90s, he would basically take other movies and chop them to ribbons, and would just film new sequences of ninjas, fighting it out. Like there's a giant snake movie called The Magic Snake from, I think, the Philippines or something, and he later cut it into a film with ninjas called Thunder of Gigantic Serpent. And so he would overdub them and try to make them into like see, Pierre Kirby is in the same movie as this Filipino dude. You know what I mean? It's really fascinating when you watch it. Like some of the movies from that era, there's a rather infamous film that like Richard Harrison made where I think he's trying to go after a guy by the name of the Golden Ninja Warrior, and tough, brawny Richard Harrison is talking to the main villain on a fucking Garfield phone. It's like the most insane thing. Like somebody actually took that scene and like remixed it and put the Thomas the Tank Engine theme song behind it, and it works. It's hilarious. So anyway, what I was really getting to was Godfrey Ho basically in the year 1989 alone made like 10,000 movies just by doing the cut and paste, like the whole thing. And so that's why I compared to the B Westerns, because there's like so many of them. Like there's probably well over a quarter of, if not over a million B Westerns that have ever been made. And a lot of them are lost. Some of them, are in collections like this through Sinister Cinema. Some of them you'll find in Mill Creek collections. Like just 1,000 upon thousands upon thousands of these things. And Greg Luce of Sinister Cinema alone has quite the wealth of them. And the thing is he runs that $98 special sale about twice a year. And that's a good chance to swoop in and get a lot of his stuff because he's getting up there now. I mean, he started out, I think, in the 80s in the VHS era, distributing movies on VHS and stuff. And then he's like 73 or something odd now. I'm not exactly sure on his age, but he's up there. And, there have been talks of him retiring, and I hope to God he doesn't retire for quite a long time because I want to keep getting more and more of this stuff and really and load up a shelf full of it because it's just like awesome stuff. And again, he doesn't just, do like B Westerns. He does like, you could get like Bela Lugosi movies from him. You can get like Sword and Sandal movies from him. He sells Severin Blu-rays, as I stated before. He sells some martial arts films, some Sword and Sandal flicks, like some exploitation stuff, like basically anything and everything. He probably has it. So just awesome guy. SinisterCinema.com. Just visit his site. Let me actually just show you the back of. So here's the contact information for Sinister Cinema. Sorry if it's backwards on my end, but. No, there's the contact information for Sinister Cinema. Just great stuff. And happy to say that in this most recent shipment, Greg sent me a coupon, so I'll likely be going back for more.
Yeah.
So
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Something I have not really explored, and I don't know if you know an answer for it. Why did Hollywood dive so deep into Westerns? I mean, I kind of have a partial answer for that, but you might know the exact answer. But mine would be kind of it just where we came out of the kind of Wild West era of in reality, and it was such a close proximity in time, maybe. But what was the fascination by just pumping them out like they did? Because there's never been a genre really explored that heavily.
Well, I think. My friend, the late great Ralph Celentano, put it best because I was talking to him about the B Westerns, and I was like, man, this was like the most, at least the B Westerns, the most disposable genre out there, like, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of these things. And he was like, oh God, all you have to do is go outside and film it. And I think that's pretty much why, like, you could, like, back in the day, like, especially in the silent era, the 30s, and even into the 40s, the world wasn't as populated as it is now. Like you could basically film a dozen outdoor pictures and build like a little rinky-dink Western town and basically have your own like Western epic right there. Like I think that's why there was such an you would even probably go so far as to say an oversaturation of them because they were just so easy to make. You know, like anybody could go out there and make a Western. It's a lot harder to, do a horror film with special effects and proper makeup and things like that. Like that's a little bit more challenging, as our female counterpart would probably attest to. Well, Tom Savini's just don't grow on trees. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just the truth.
Well, since you called me out, I completely understand what you're talking about. Like, we're talking about like Western movies versus horror stuff, like the practical effects and stuff, like that takes time, effort, all that kind of stuff. Where what you were saying is you essentially just gotta go find like a tumbleweed in the middle of nothing and just have two horses. So I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, very minimalist, and that's why I like them. I mean, especially a lot of the B Westerns from like the lower grade Poverty Row studios. And there were just so many studios. And the reason why it's called Poverty Row is because there was like just one massive strip on Gower Street in California in Los Angeles, comprised of a lot of independent studios that just specialized in lower budgeted movies. Like one of my favorite movies from a Poverty Row studio, one of my favorite B Westerns, is a film called Wild Horse Phantom from 1944. It stars Buster Crabbe, who is probably more famous for playing Tarzan and Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers and a lot of serials. Well, he was in some Westerns as Billy the Kid, which they later had to change to Billy Carson because moms complained, hey, why are you glorifying a natural-born killer on screen? So they changed it to Billy Carson. And for this film, Wild Horse Phantom, Buster Crabbe and his sidekick, Fuzzy Q. Jones, played by the wonderful silent film comedian Al St. John, they explore an abandoned mine, and Al St. John is continuously terrorized in the film by a gigantic bat that keeps following him around. Well, that gigantic bat is the same bat that Bela Lugosi used to sick on people in his famous film The Devil Bat from 1940. So it's like PRC-ception in that film because that was made by Producers Releasing Corporation, PRC. Devil Bat was a PRC film. Wild Horse Phantom was a PRC film. So basically, you have PRC-ception, in that film, and it's great. And Devil Bat, by the way, if nobody's ever seen it, you got to go out and watch it. Joe Dante's talked about it on Trailers from Hell, I think, and just this awesome film, basically where Bela Lugosi wants to get his revenge on this family and a bunch of people. So what he does is he comes up with an aftershave that when you put it on, attracts the bat and makes the bat attack you. Just, it's awesome.
Intrigued.
So, and he keeps it in like this underground, this dungeon in his mansion or something. It's brilliant. I love the Devil Bat. Say what you will.
I love it.
Say what you will about Bela Lugosi and his non-Dracula horror films that he made for studios like PRC and Monogram and whatever. Even though they're quite dreary, the Ed Wood films, there was an invention behind those, and there was like a method to those that, and a creativity to a lot of them that you really don't even get even today. So even those lower budgeted things, are still sometimes leagues better than what you probably get today.
Even the Ed Wood films aren't really that bad when you go. I mean, sometimes they have bad stats, but you look back at them and people call them some of the worst movies ever. They're not. They're at least on a filmmaker point of view, they're not that badly made. Like when it comes to like the technical stuff, the cutting and some of the the cinematography and things like that, they're not bad. They're not great, but they're not. I've seen far worse made recently. Birdemic is far worse than.
Yeah. Where basically it's a bunch of PNGs chasing after people. Yeah. Pretty much. But yeah, I mean, I love this stuff. I mean, again, I could probably go through this whole box, but I'd probably bore people to death talking about all this stuff. But there are a couple of books, and I probably should have grabbed them when I grabbed this rather dilapidated laptop. There's a couple of books, like there's one called The Happiest Trails by John Brooker, which collects a bunch of interviews that the author did with various cowboy stars in the 1970s and 60s and such, and remembrances. Like he interviews like guys like Tim Holt And Red Russell's actually interviewed in that, Ken Maynard, a bunch of people. And it's a wonderful book. Another book that is highly recommended, and sadly, both of these books are sadly out of print now. There's a book called Don Miller's Hollywood Corral, which basically talks all about these B-Westerns and basically gives like some recommendations of some films that you should probably see. And that's how I wound up scouring. Like, I'm actually going to be doing a show coming up here soon with my friends Nick and Clive from the William S. Hart podcast that we do. And there's a couple of films because Nick and Clive, they wanted to know, what Western showed Native Americans in a sympathetic light. So, pardon me, while I was reading through Hollywood Corral, I saw a film called The End of the Trail, which is a Tim McCoy film where basically Tim McCoy is running guns to the Arapaho tribe. And it's a rather sympathetic portrayal of the Native Americans in that film. And then there's, of course, the 1932 Buck Jones film, White Eagle. And then there's a later serial that Buck Jones did, which is a remake of that feature film called White Eagle as well. So we're going to be reviewing those, which are going to be pretty fascinating. But yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of people, there's a misconception with Westerns. I mean, I guess a lot of A Westerns contain a lot of this, I mean, I'm not an expert on A Westerns. Like, don't ask me about The Searchers. Don't ask me about Good, the Bad, the Ugly. But ask me about Hoot Gibson and The Hard Hombre from 1931. I can tell you everything about it. I'm that one nut job. You know what I mean? I've lost my thread. Where was I? Oh my God. I hope this is the early onslaught of some mental disease. Anyway, so yeah, these things are just fascinating. The more you get into them, and a lot of the B Westerns, this is where I was going with it. A lot of the B Westerns, the villains in those aren't really Native Americans a lot of the time. A lot of the time they're either corrupt sheriffs, cattle rustlers. I can't tell you how many B Westerns I've seen where the theme is cattle rustling, or stampedes or whatever. Like, basically B Westerns, there's like basically 3 plots that you get in B Westerns, and very little variation. But I just love these things. I devour them like Godzilla devours Tokyo. Like, they're just brilliant. Except there's like one outlier, which is weird. There's a Ken Maynard film that he made for Universal from 1934. It's a rather infamous film. I reviewed it on my blog. By the way, I do have a blog that I review these things on. It's called Blazing Justice. So you could find it blazingjustice.blogspot.com, and you'll find a bunch of my reviews that I've written there. I'm still writing reviews to this day. So I recently, like a few weeks back, reviewed a film called Smoking Guns from 1934. And it's a Western, okay? Ostensibly, it's supposed to be a Western. But for like a good sizable chunk of the film, Ken Maynard has a blonde wig, a beard, and he's out there in the freaking jungle battling alligators. Like, what? And no wonder why old man... Yeah. And no wonder why old man Carl Lundley, told Ken, look, Ken, that last one you made for us was a stinker. And Ken was like, yeah, well, then the last 8 I must have made for you were stinkers because they were the same quality. But actually, if you look at Ken Maynard's Universal output, those are probably among some of the best B Westerns ever made. I would have to go so far as to say that. Like, his film Wheels of Destiny, like, you could tell a considerable budget was put into that for a B Western. Like, there's stagecoaches, there's thousands of extras. Like, it's really a nice piece of work. Probably the closest Ken ever got to making like a tumbleweed style film. But yeah. Oh, go ahead, John.
I got a comment here for you. One of my favorite, Jennifer Kemp said, one of my favorite Darkiel Lugosi films is One Body Too Many, starring Jack Haley. It's more of a comedy than a horror film, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah, he made a lot of, comedy horror films. Like, he made a film with the Ritz brothers called The Gorilla, which is probably the most prevalent Ritz brothers film out there now that they made for, I believe that was for Fox. And then, of course, he made a couple of films with the Bowery Boys / East Side Kids / whatever they felt like calling themselves that day. So you know, I think the films are Pride of the Bowery, and the other one is I think called Ghosts on the Loose. So yeah, both of those he made for Monogram. So he made a lot of comedy horror films.
Have you? I've got a movie here. I was wondering if you've seen. It would probably be considered more of an A western. It's kind of in between, but this is Duel at Diablo. I don't know if you've seen this with Sidney Poitier and James Garner.
See, that's a little beyond my scope. That's like a later
Yeah.
film. I mean, not that I don't dip my toes into those later films.
66, yeah.
Yeah. What is that like? What they would call like? Is that like a spaghetti western, or is that
No, it's
no?
more of just the A western with a.
Okay.
Well, the reason why I mentioned it, you were talking about portraying Native Americans in a positive light, and it's not necessarily portraying them in a bad light in this movie, but you probably know who Dennis Weaver is. So he was the original deputy and deputy on Gunsmoke.
And I will go so far as to say he was in Spielberg's best movie, Duel, 1971.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I know a lot of people love Jaws. A lot of people like Close Encounters, E.T., all that. Those are all good movies. I will not dismiss them. But there's something about the raw energy and power of just a massive tanker truck chasing down a little red car in the desert. That was just, you can't capture that twice. That was lightning in a bottle with Duel. Like, that was just a brilliant film. So I still think it's his best work, but go on ahead.
But Dennis Weaver in here, he's like your main cast is James Garner and Sidney Poitier. They're kind of the hero. But Dennis Weaver would be kind of the heel in the story. He's basically like, I apologize, I don't know the woman involved in here. I didn't pay attention to her name. But regardless, he's basically like a wife beater. He's just like an asshole to this woman, and they got to save her. But so at the very end of the movie, there's a big fight out against the Cowboys versus the Indians. So just put it like that. But Dennis Weaver, he gets captured.
Yeah, I think you may have even mentioned this. I think the last time.
Yeah, I've probably talked about it multiple times. Yeah, it's like one of the most gruesome off-screen.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
Because they essentially, the Indians tie him to it's basically like an overturned wagon, and the wheels hanging, it's set in about a 45-degree angle, okay, at an angle, and they tie him to it, and they point him head down to the ground, and they light a fire under his head and burn him from head up.
Yeah.
And they find him at the end. You just basically get a base. You don't really see him too much, but
it happens like basically off screen.
Yeah. That's one of the most gruesome off-screen deaths I've ever seen in this.
Oh, I forgot I had these over here.
Well, what's up, Stacy? How you doing? We were talking about you earlier. You must have heard us. Wondering where you've been at. We were hoping that we didn't run you off.
I don't mean to interrupt. Everybody keep doing what you're doing, but I have at least 3 that I wanted to talk on that I think would be good for including in the conversation. So not trying to shoehorn,
Absolutely.
but
no, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on ahead.
You're good.
But we can like layer it out. It's just 3. But
yeah, we could do a Shrek type deal. Yeah, ogres are like onions. Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. So one of my favorite movies that I obviously it was out. I just didn't watch it in theaters, but then I finally found it, and I've been obsessed with it for the last couple of years. Is Django Unchained.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Five Goes West.
Oh no,
I love it.
but no, I loved because quick backstory. My dad loves westerns, so he's of your vibe, where he likes the older, like black and white and like the OG kind of westerns and stuff. And I never really grabbed onto it when I was younger, but then as I got older, I found like some of these more modern, like western kind of stories very intriguing, and I just really loved Django Unchained. I loved the dark humor, like the exploration of the characters and just everything. I could go on forever about it. I'll shut up already, but but yeah, it's one of my absolute favorites. So what was that? That was 2012. So
that was the Tarantino joint, right?
Yeah.
yeah, and the next one is another Tarantino. It's a Hateful Eight. Yeah. I loved all of the cast and the performances and just like the intertwining of everything and the mystery of it all. Like I just thought that was really good. I don't know. I think for me, the like just two cowboys on the other side going pew pew like on its own. I need a backstory. Like, what are you fighting for? So when I get that, I think that's really great, and I'm sure that you could probably recommend me a couple. So,
yes,
then,
as a matter of fact, there is one that I'd like to recommend, but go on ahead.
Oh, okay. The last one was not. Would you call this a Western? It says so on IMDb. Bone Tomahawk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You guys seen that one?
That one's that's a movie.
That is a movie. And I've watched it the once and it is burned within my brain.
Yeah, it'll do that. It'll do that for sure.
It will, but it is really good and I like the characters and the way that it was done. But whoo, that scene that we all are thinking about, my goodness.
Please tell me, okay, I hope some Blu-ray company out there is watching this because I hope that they take like Jody's blurb review of that movie and put it on the Blu-ray.
Yeah, put it on the back.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
That I saw.
You gotta have my facial expression though. Like it's a movie. That's
no,
yes.
I love that reaction though, because I do that all the time. Where like all horror movies are just like I loved it because it was effective. I always say that because it was effective. Like,
yeah.
Did you like it? I'm like, it was a film.
Yes.
And it was very effective. It did its job. And I am traumatized forever.
And
So.
I would like us to stop talking about it. Okay. Don't know why we're still talking about it.
Exactly. But those are mine for like the Western vibe. You clearly have so many more, but those are my top favorites.
You know that Django was spaghetti westerns first, don't you?
Yeah, Franco Nero.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is. Okay.
Yeah, he's the guy that shows up in the scene in the bar scene where you're introduced to DiCaprio's character, excuse me. But when you that whole area that at the very end of that scene where he walks up to the bar. No, in the what's technically the fighting scene where the Mandingo fight where they first show that fighting where they're in the little room, the very first where they at the bar in the back and they're fighting.
Yeah.
And at the very end of that scene, he walks up. Jamie Foxx walks up to a guy at the bar and he asks him how to spell his name, or he spells his name, and he's like, "Yeah, I know, that's Franco Nero." In that scene. That's the original Django. That's the little tie.
Very nice. Very nice. I remember Arrow got a hold of those original Django, and they were doing a steelbook and a limited edition. And like the week they were released, they got like a cease and desist. I forget why. It was something to do with the rights, and mine made it out, and I kept it sealed and in the plastic. But then like
frame it.
Yeah, well, I say that, but then like less than a year later, they got it all situated and they released everything. But I think they had to fix something. I would have known this years ago when it happened, but there was something that it was that and a steelbook.
That's cool.
And so they finally were able to release it, but I think they had to change or fix something either in the film, or maybe it was just part of like the goodies. Was the whole cease and desist thing.
I would hope it wouldn't be the actual film, because that I hope that wouldn't be like some sort of like censorship, like French Connection.
No. It was it. I forget what it was, but I remember I remember getting mine in the mail like the day I hear this news, and I was like, "Oh shit, mine made it out before they had to like cancel everything." But so yeah, I've still got the Steelbook sealed, and then I got the edition that John just showed later when they were actually like put it out finally.
I think it's just a Blu-ray edition. They probably re-released it on 4K since then.
They might have done that too, but yeah, I've got the Blu-ray. Yeah,
So a Western that I'd like to recommend, actually two, to Lauren. One is an A Western. It's a silent film, but it's an A Western. And the other one is a B Western. The A Western that I'd like to recommend is a film called Hell's Hinges from 1916. It stars William S. Hart, and you're asking basically for a Western that doesn't have just a bunch of pew pew going on. Well, basically, the plot of that film is there's this pastor who's not really great at his job. He is quite easy to succumb to temptation, and he ultimately does in the film. And so he's sent out west to a sin-ridden, sin-drenched town called Placer Center, but known far and wide as Hell's Hinges, because it's just full of sin. There's no law, there's no order. And he's sent out there to start up a church. And William S. Hart plays Blaze Tracy, basically an outlaw renegade who is one of the main baddies in the town. And he and his friend Silk Miller, who runs the saloon, basically conspired to do away with this pastor and his ilk. But then William S. Hart meets the beautiful sister of the pastor, and his heart changes, his heart drops, and he converts over to Christianity. And he, throughout the film, he's defending, the sister and the churchgoers against, the sinful behavior of some of the other townsfolk, including Dolly, played by Louise Glaum, who was basically like what they would term back in the day a vamp, like a Theda Bara type. Mm-hmm. And so the film ends with the pastor getting shot, the townsfolk burning the church to the ground. And so an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, Old Testament. William S. Hart goes into the saloon, all guns blazing, shoots a bunch of gaslights, and burns the entire freaking city to the ground.
Jeez. Okay.
1916, this came out, keep in mind.
That's crazy. That's really good description. I am intrigued now.
And the other film that I would like to recommend is a Western, a B Western, that has some horror elements in it. And it's a film called Tombstone Canyon from 1932. It's a Worldwide Pictures film starring Ken Maynard. And basically, Ken is, heads into a town to see an old friend of his, but then he winds up going into town and discovering his old friend is dead, was murdered, actually. And so there's this rather ominous phantom killer who, does this throughout the course of the film and keeps his face obscured. And, he's basically haunting, the townsfolk and shooting them off one by one. And, people, know that he's coming because they could hear like a loud coyote type yowl. And it's rather, and I don't know if you want me to spoil it for you, the ending of it, because it's a rather cool twist at the end of it.
You can say there's a cool twist. Let's leave it there.
Yeah, there's a pretty cool twist. The twist that I'll say, just think of Star Wars, and that's the twist.
Okay. So. Oh shit! All right. I'm excited now.
All right.
Very cool.
Hey, Stacy has a question here. Said this is probably a good one for you, especially a favorite Western saloon keeper character.
Yeah. Like, are you talking about someone that would basically run the saloon and whatever?
Either that or a bartender, something like that, I would say. Yeah.
Well, there aren't any particular ones in the B Westerns that I could, name, but one that's really good and one that comes to mind immediately. It's not in a movie, but it's in a TV show. Glenn Strange as the bartender in Gunsmoke. I could probably name drop that. And can I just say, Glenn Strange, I mean, yes, he was the Frankenstein's monster in a bunch of those Universal films. great in them as that character. But he was so much more than that. He was a great Western actor as well. And I just wish that when people were to remember people like Tom Tyler, like Glenn Strange, and a bunch of these other people, that they would remember their Western work as well, because it's rather rich too. So it's well worth looking into. Minor side tangent there, and I apologize. But go on ahead.
That's all she's got. She asked something about have you seen Bad Girls, but I don't. I looked it up, and it was like a British TV show, so I don't.
No, I think he's talking about the Mary Stuart Masterson film.
Yeah.
I figured it was a movie as well, but
so it's basically that's a Western from the 90s. But the thing is, people, I'm very specific when it comes to my Westerns. I only like silent Westerns and the B Westerns from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Like, I very seldom go out of that realm when it comes to Westerns. I mean, maybe occasionally I'll sit down, maybe watch a spaghetti Western.
But I remember that now.
No. But yeah, sometimes I go outside of that realm. Like, there was a film that was on one of those old Mill Creek sets. Oh yeah. There was a film on one of those old Mill Creek sets. There's 44 movie collection of spaghetti Westerns that I watched that I rather liked. It had Gianni Garco in it, and I love the title. The reason why I watched it was for the title, and it had Klaus Kinski in it. And the title of the movie is, and this is a typical, like, stereotypical B Western spaghetti Western title: "If you meet Sartana, pray for your death."
That was a good impression.
I like it.
May I ask you a question? So you're obviously a big Western guy. Do you have any other genres that are in, like, your top 3 or 5? Like, what else would you go to if you are just not feeling a Western that day?
Probably maybe animation. I don't know if animation is a genre unto itself.
That next question: Disney, like Pixar kind of thing, or are we talking anime or something like that?
Well, truth be told, and I'll probably offend John by saying this, but I'm not really the biggest anime fan in the world. Honestly, the only anime that I ever really loved was the original 60s Gigantor, when it would come on at like 5 a.m. in the morning on Adult Swim. And I was intrigued by that show, the anime, because of I had always loved the Iron Giant as a kid, the Brad Bird film. And the whole plot of that is basically a boy and his giant robot, right? Well, they did that in the 60s with Gigantor, where basically you have Jimmy Sparks. I mean, I don't know, I can't say the Japanese original name, so I'll just say what the original the American name for this character. Jimmy Sparks basically controls this massive robot named Gigantor, and or in the Japanese, Tetsuji Nijahachi Go.
Okay,
I feel it.
And so yeah, basically Jimmy Sparks and Gigantor basically go after their, like, terrorists, gang members, and it was such a culture shock for me to see a show of this vintage showing, like, a little boy shooting guns at grown adults. Like, it was really interesting to see for its time. It's a 60s cartoon. And I think when it was exported here to America, I think even some parents complained about it, I think.
The Japanese are pretty wild what they show.
Yeah. Well,
sure.
All you need to do is say the word octopus, and they go batshit with that. So, so basically you were asking about, Disney and stuff. Yeah, I like some Disney. I mean, honestly, and I'm going to draw some flack for this, the only Pixar films I ever liked were the first 2 Toy Story films. I mean, the other ones that came after were okay, but, those first the first 2 Toy Story films were probably the best, in my opinion.
They're perfectly classics. I would argue others kind of like Bug's Life and stuff like that beforehand, what have you, but the first 2 Toy Stories, iconic. So.
And little known fact, the character Stinky Pete in Toy Story 2 was actually based on a real guy. It was based on George Gabby Hayes.
And then you can intertwine it with your Western content.
Yeah. It was basically, yeah. Stinky Pete was based off of George Gabby Hayes, who was Roy Rogers' sidekick in the 40s. So
There you go.
They did the research.
Yeah. and you know, truth be told, Woody is probably the reason why I got into Westerns. Like, probably subconsciously, because when I was a kid, I used to love Woody. Like, there's actually footage from Christmas of '99 where I was bugging the living hell out of my poor father because, you know, they got so many other presents for us kids, but all I wanted was the Woody that I got that year. That's all I wanted to play with because I just loved Woody so much. And it was the Woody that had the guitar with it.
Yeah.
My mom kept yelling to get me out of the kitchen because I would just come in and start singing "You Got a Friend in Me." She's like, "Get out! Like, you don't have a friend here." Like, but so I can relate.
And so yeah, I love the Woody character. I still do, you know. But honestly, and I'm gonna get flack for this because these films were originally made in widescreen. Honestly, if I were to watch those films again, I'd have to watch them on VHS. Like, most of my Disney collection is on VHS, you know, honestly. Like Pocahontas, Blu-ray, what's this? I have the Walt Disney Masterpiece collection right here. No. Ba 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 ba. And then Tinkerbell comes in. Ba 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 ba.
They just don't do it like that anymore.
No,
They don't. But as far as my all-time favorite animated film, it would have to be Max Fleischer's 1939 animated Gulliver's Travels, which I know I've discussed here before on this program. I mean, I've gone so far, and I could show this off. This is the centerpiece of my Gulliver's Travels collection.
Go ahead and do it.
I have a very rare item from Gulliver's Travels.
Gosh, what is he gonna bring up here?
I have a bunch of Gulliver's Travels items. I have the original Decca Records collection. I have 2 copies of that. One's a later pressing. But one thing that I have from the original run of Gulliver's Travels is this. This is a wooden doll of Gabby, the town crier. This is from 1939.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Oh my gosh.
His nose is a little chipped, but I still love him anyway. Cost a pretty penny, but I love him anyway. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, you can see there, Gabby, copyright 1939, Paramount Pictures, made by the Ideal Toy Company.
Nice.
Oh, that's legitimate. That's awesome.
Yeah, his face is a little cracked. His nose needs reconstruction, and he doesn't have his belt that he had originally, but I don't care. I still love him, you know.
That's a pretty good
Just the way
shape.
he is. It's fine.
Pretty good
Just
shape.
the way you
regardless,
are.
So yeah, Gulliver's Travels, probably my favorite animated film of all time, bar none.
Nice.
It's not a perfect film by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a fun one. It has a lot of great songs in it. Great musical score by Victor Young. Great animation, and you know, it was pretty timely. Actually, it was an anti-war film, basically made in before the onslaught of World War II that was about to come to pass. And it's the only second feature-length animated film ever made, and it's the first feature-length animated film made by a studio other than Disney. And it garnered 2 Oscar nominations for Best Original Song and Best Original Score. And it's really a beautiful film. Some people like to knock it, but I love it. I think it's a beautiful film, just well made, great characters. I wish I would have explored the world of Lilliput a little bit more, but other than that, I think it's a beautiful film. Just an awesomely gorgeous film. Animation, I like. Probably my favorite Disney film. Now, my favorite Disney film, and Jody will tell you, it's an interesting choice.
I'm so curious.
DuckTales the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp.
Oh my god, that was not what I expected, but I'm not surprised.
I have literally. Wait, let me count. I think I have up to 14 VHS copies of that now. And I have a bunch of Scrooge plushies. in my bedroom staring at me whenever I go to sleep. So
Hell
you
yeah.
know. And sometimes you know, and so yeah, I mean, Scrooge McDuck is probably my favorite Disney character. Don't ask me why, considering I live on welfare and I'm living in an apartment. That I love a rich millionaire, but I do. I love Scrooge McDuck, and I always have ever since I was a little kid.
That
Him and-
Christmas special is a yearly watch for me. So
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
But speaking of Christmas specials, you know what my favorite Christmas special of all time is? Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. If you've ever seen that.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think I have.
I've seen it.
Basically, Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol. Basically, well, how many of you? I mean, I think John does, but how many of you even know who Mr. Magoo is?
Oh yeah.
I'm familiar with them. I have.
Okay,
not.
so you get it, nearsighted old man, you know, character.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's basically playing the Ebenezer Scrooge character in this, and there's some great songs in that, like "Winter Was Warm," which is a really sad song. But probably my favorite song in that is a song called "All Alone in the World." I think that was the title of it. Where basically the lyrics go, and I'm not gonna. I'm going to save your ears from having to hear me do a terrible Jim Backus impression. But basically, the lyrics of that, you know, really speak to me as someone who pretty much does feel really alone in the world. A hand for each hand was meant for each world. Why don't my fingers reach? Millions of grains of sand in the world. Why such a lonely beach? Where's a voice to answer mine back? Where two shoes to click to my clack? I'm all alone in the world. It's a beautiful song. Beautiful, beautiful song. I think the songwriters of that were also responsible for the stage production of Funny Girl, I think. So yeah, it had some really good Broadway style like songwriting behind it. For actually the first animated Christmas special made exclusively for television.
Cool.
So yeah, but see, I love to go down. Yeah, I go down these avenues and these tangents, you know, like like Lauren gets to talking about Mickey's Christmas Carol, and then I'm like, oh, do you know that there's this other thing? I don't know what's wrong with me. Like I must be sick. Like I don't know what's wrong with me. But
I'm definitely guilty of doing the same thing. I was about to be like, oh, my favorite Christmas Carol is George C. Scott's version in like the 80s. That's absolutely one of my favorites.
You're never going to offend me by telling me you don't like something that you don't like, because I don't care about because that's your opinion. That's what you like. Everybody likes what they like. Everybody's got their own niches they like.
Not everything is for everybody. That's what I always.
You know what? Earlier when I was talking about anime, I totally lied. There is one other anime that I used to watch over at a friend's house that I loved, and it's because I'm such a fat guy. And by me just saying that, you'll probably know which one I'm talking about.
I'm quizzical. What?
I'm not sure.
Well, because I like food, there was an anime called Toriko, which was basically this guy by the name of Toriko. Basically, he went out into the world and he basically went on eating adventures. Like he would eat the weirdest foods imaginable, and this was an anime from like back in the day. And I was like, wow. I mean, it's a show that makes you hungry, even though he's eating like squid tentacles or whatever. But it's fun to watch. Like I would like to see some Toriko again.
Yeah, it's like watching real Japanese.
You ever see Toriko, John?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. Some of the older stuff's hard to get a hold of. Yeah.
Well, this isn't even that old. It's like 2010 type. I used to watch it when I would go over to a friend's house.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of old if you can't get a hold
of it. John, okay, you want to put...
That's not old. I'm just joking. It's hard to get a hold of anime.
Because if that's considered old, if stuff from like 10 years ago is now considered old and vintage, then I might as well go get dentures. I might as well go get a cane, and I might as well go live in the home. Eat gruel all day, you know.
That sounds awesome.
It's not. I'm just making a it's hard to get anime joke, and it's from 2010. It's hard to get.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Some of the stuff's starting to get easier. I'm sorry, Julian.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't interrupt. No. I was just gonna say I was gonna throw in my 2 cents. Like my first introduction to anime was a Samurai Jack.
Oh yeah, Genndy Tartakovsky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loved that show. I was obsessed. That was like pushing my sister out of the way. Like, oh, where's Samurai Jack is on?
And Genndy Tartakovsky is an interesting guy because, you know, of course, Dexter's Laboratory is what he started out with, I think, right?
Yeah, and that's great too.
And then he does Samurai Jack. And you want to know the greatest tragedy of them all is the fact that we never got his Popeye movie that he was going to do. We got to test for it, but we never actually got the full-fledged film. And what did we get instead? The bloody Emoji movie. I think that's what replaced the Popeye project. So yeah, would you rather see let me go beat up Pluto, or hey, how about a movie about a floating smiley face? This is better, isn't it, guys? So says the corporate suits in the offices of Sony Pictures.
Well, I think I've been trying to get into some pickups this week. I don't.
I'm sorry.
Too serious.
Oh,
but,
John, go for it.
Go for it, man.
Well, because since we were talking about, I did pick up the Speed Racer.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Set.
Oh,
and the artwork
With
and
Mexi funk artwork there.
Yep.
yeah, that's pretty artwork. Oh, I like that. I like the flyby kind
And
of. Like,
you
colorful.
get the American Speed Racer. It comes with both Speed Racer and you get the Japanese. Technically, it's called Mach Go Go Go, but I think it's pronounced like Maha Go 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 in Japanese. I think I think that's correct. But then here's just the regular Speed Racer, the English translation, and you get the. But I have not seen this version. I am going to go and watch with the Japanese audio. I don't know if I've ever watched, but that was cool. This artwork. I don't know if he did all the artwork. It kind of looks like he did because this is really cool. And here's with the Speed Racer. It was Racer X and there's Speed Racer. These are really good. I like these.
Those are good.
And the discs have different artwork on them.
Oh,
you see, that's how you do it. That is how you do a box set like that.
See the aftermath of there's my finger.
Yeah.
Oh shit, bro.
Yeah, I agree. When the disc is just like gray or something, there's no artwork or no interior artwork and stuff. Like that drives me up a wall.
Like, what would you rather have? That beautiful Speed Racer set or this monstrosity? this Universal Monsters collection thing here. I mean, honestly, and get this. Warner Brothers is also jumping on this sort of packaging bandwagon because I saw like they're doing a complete series set on Blu-ray of Perfect Strangers, and they're doing it in this exact same style, and it's horrible. Like
I like bricks. I like
Really?
the bricks.
Yes. Well, good.
Not so much for the movies like that, but for television series, I do because I like getting complete series, and it's far more compact than getting a box that's a fucking 5 feet long, you know, of regular DVDs. It's just I have an affinity for them, but I understand why people don't because sometimes they stack this sometimes and they're a pain in the butt to like whenever you take one out, you go put the other one back. They're all out of order eventually. I understand, but as far as compactability and collectability, I like them because I can get because I've got like all the Cheers and it's the one set. It does come with a cover box, but you have two different bricks in there. You don't have to have a massive set.
Yeah, I think my favorite like collection, like box, is what we're talking about. Like I have one for Alfred Hitchcock classics, and it's like more like a paperback kind of style, and so you can pull it out and then you like flip through like a book kind of thing, and it's not like plastic and falling apart kind of thing. I have unfortunately had to deal with that kind of stuff, but that's my favorite one. So there are some really great ones out there. It's just sometimes they just phone it in and then they expect you to just pay the full price for something that they clearly have put a clearance on themselves, you know?
Because the Gunsmoke Complete series is like that. You get that beautiful outer box, but they're bricks inside, but it's like 20 seasons. So, I mean,
that warrants
it's still that long. It's still that long.
That's outrageous. Yeah.
Since I'm here, now I don't know if you guys have retired this segment. I think you have because I haven't seen it on the past few shows. But and I know John wants to finish his pickups, and I'll let him do that. But I just
you're the guest.
I just have to wonder, Jody, are we going to play a certain little game tonight?
John,
You bastard.
If I can find it.
I mean,
I was wondering if it was actually going to happen. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I'm so excited right now.
Strongly.
It's time to play a little game where I show Lauren some fun things. It'll make her mad, I guarantee, but it'll be fun for you and me. It's time to play. Hey Lauren, look what I got. Hey Lauren, it's time to play. Hey Lauren, look what I got. Oh.
Forgot how good that song was.
I
Ah,
I want that on iTunes.
I know, right? All right. So
God.
I've for the past month and a half or so, I've been doing some whatnots. Right? I've been on Whatnot. I've been selling some shit. So in order to sell some shit, I got to buy some shit, and I've bought some shit, and sometimes I get shit for myself. And today, my friends, we have a release from Turbine, which is an overseas company. I missed this, so I was super excited to add it to the collection, and I know Lauren's gonna hate me for it. Check out this big, thick box for the thing.
Oh my god. And
Oh my god, look at it.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
What you got in there? What's going
Oh,
on?
I'll show you what I got in there. Hang on a second. It opens up like this.
Oh
It's a
my
big
god,
book.
it opens like a box. That's so
It
cool.
opened up like, look, you get a patch. You get a patch.
Ooh, oh.
I know, right? You get the movie soundtrack on CD.
No,
Look out.
that's so cool.
I know. You get a bunch of little collector cards.
Yes.
You get this thick ass book. Look at that.
Oh,
what's
is
that?
that like behind the scenes and stuff like that?
Let's find out together.
Yes,
And,
I would love that.
you get a poster. Let's see. Oh, you get two
Ooh.
posters. Oh shit. No, this is the hey, listen, it's a book, okay? But it's all in German. All right. So
Like my Max Shrek autobiography. My Max
yeah,
Shrek
it's
biography.
all in German. But check
I'm
out
actually learning German, so you can just send that to me real quick.
Oh, well then it makes sense. Look, you get this poster,
Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my god.
and the back of it, you get this poster,
Oh my god.
Nice.
and then
that's
hang on.
gorgeous.
I've got to fold this nicely because there's another poster. This looks like the theatrical
Yeah.
poster.
Classic looking one.
This is
There it
you got the
Yes.
poster,
Of
and then you got this badass poster.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
I would have
And then,
picked that one.
and then, hang on, and then you get. Oh my god! There's another book. Hang on. There's another book. Let's see what this book. This book has pictures. This book has. I like this book. It has pictures.
Oh
Look at that. It's got concept art.
yeah,
It's
concept
got
art.
storyboards.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. This book's much better.
This is what's pissing me off right now. That right
Now,
there.
calm down. Calm down. And then you get and then you get the housing for the movie. So here's the housing for the actual movie.
Oh.
You get this awesome
this. Oh
wrap,
yeah.
and then this slides out, and then this looks like it might. Look at this. This opens,
Oh my god.
and then you get 3 discs in here. 1, 2, and 3.
Describe
4K.
them. One is Blu-ray, I'm guessing.
Now, it looks like all of them are Blu-ray. One of them is just a bonus material,
Excuse me. Shut up.
They're not labeled, so I'm gonna have to do some digging on if this is like a theatrical and like a different cut going on.
Yeah.
I gotta do some digging
Cool.
because the only thing it didn't come with is like the J card that told me what everything was. So this has been a fun adventure for all of us right now.
That's so cool. That box is awesome.
This box is so beautiful. I love it so much. I got to put it back together. And there's something else that is can kind of go with this segment. But honestly, anytime I can show off this other thing that I got, I'm going to show it off because I about pissed myself when I found it. So I'm going to show you the back first. Okay. So this was a European release for The Exorcist that I hosted a group buy for, but then I apparently can't count and didn't order enough to where I could get one. So I'll show you the back. So it's a big Bible. Where's my finger? It's a big Bible. And then there's an inner Bible. And then it has posters, cards, the SteelBook. So see this comes out like this. So now, and they only made 2,000 of these. So now this looks like an actual
my God,
like
that looks
out,
so good.
right?
That is awesome.
This is awesome. Oh, it gets so much better. So inside you get the new 4K SteelBook right there. It's got the posters, the cards. Do you want to know why I shit myself when I found this in one of the boxes that I bought? Get ready. Hold on to your shit because it was signed.
No. How did you get that? You don't just laugh, you answer the question.
this beautiful gentleman, this fellow collector, is having to get out of the collecting business. And
gotcha.
I am his new best friend.
Oh.
And this one came with paperwork. He got it done. I forget the name of it because this sticker applies. It was like a monster festival something where it came with the paperwork that with the matching number and gives detail on when and where and like what color marker she used to sign it and all that shit. So this is gonna get put in a protector and put on the wall. So this is super awesome. I've got some more stuff.
Incredible.
I got some more stuff coming that got signed. And I can't wait to go through everything. But that was hey Lauren. We haven't done that in so long. I loved it so much. Good call, Geno. Good call.
Well, Lauren, you know what? Lauren, don't feel too bad because you know what? He has he had or has something that I would love to have in my collection as well. What was it? The Indicator Sinbad collection.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's got so many. I keep telling him I have your address. I could technically go to steal.
Don't scare me like that. I've got alarms and I've got a dog that will just run at you and then piss on the floor. So be ready for that.
I am just being an ass. No, I would totally. I would like do like a little like sniper no sniping kind of moment.
Yeah. No, I got you.
But no,
I did pick up a couple of SteelBooks this week.
No shit, John. What'd you get
on that scale?
Yeah, John, we didn't finish with you. Go ahead.
No, I don't care. It's nothing because this is an anime, but I haven't watched it yet. It's a movie, but it had a pretty SteelBook. It came out this week. Your name's big.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
Pretty colors.
Yeah. It's
nice.
Or I'm not blowing it up. I'm just trying to get through this bit. Yeah, it's just got that. But I haven't watched this movie yet, so it's supposed to be a pretty good movie. There's a lot of anime I haven't watched. I love anime, but there's so much of it, and I'm not one of these people that there's some people that just they want to watch everything so they can say they've watched everything.
Right.
And you would go fucking mad if you watched everything because lots of stuff is just slice of life or it's like these love stories where you have this guy. Like most anime, this is the only thing that annoys me in anime. It's even in good anime, and you have to look past it. I don't know why it's like this for. I don't know why most of it's written by men and why they write themselves like this. But like they just like shit their pants, and whenever they try to talk, when a woman talks to them or they interact with women, they just go like crazy. It's just weirdest thing. It's not in every single one of them, but it's like in a lot. Like they can't handle talking to women. Like it is kind of annoying sometimes, and sometimes it's the dude. It's not as bad, but I don't know what it is. That's the worst part about it.
I mean, if I were to get into anime,
Yeah.
after Gigantor, like the logical next step for me, what I would probably dig the most in anime would probably be like some of the giant robot mecha animes from like the 70s and 80s, like Voltron. I'd like to get into some Voltron or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, to check out Studio Ghana X. I call it Ghana X most of the time, but it's Ghana X. It's stands for Giant X. But I talk about it constantly. Everybody probably gets annoyed at me talking about. They've done a lot. They've done like Gunbuster, which is giant robots, and that's a Hideaki Anno. He's like pretty famous. He did like Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is a one you should definitely check out. Very like it's a very got a lot of it's very I would call it Catholic Church themed, like the story, but it's not a Catholic Church movie. It's like very religious themed. Got very, very Genesis theming, but it's basically like man versus God. They build these giant robots to fight these angels being sent by God they're trying to destroy the earth again. But
Oh shit!
that's just a very basic overview of it, what's going on. But yeah.
Now, John, you say you're an anime fan.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any Korean anime? Namely, a certain movie called Space Thunder Kids.
No, I have not.
Oh my God, you need to see Space Thunder Kids. It's basically like an amalgam of a bunch of these Korean ripoff animes of other more popular Japanese animes, and then there's like a movie called Savior of the Earth, which is a Korean anime version of Tron.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I haven't delved into any Korean anime. It's just so much stuff out there. Jesus, I've watched all kinds of stuff and just.
may I introduce you to my
son? Not the only thing I watch. I clearly watch a lot of. Other
You watch
stuff
everything.
too. There's too much stuff out there too.
yeah, there's way too much stuff out there to watch.
Yeah.
I'm currently watching the new. I really like the new Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
It's based off the actual manga, at least the artwork. I love the originals, but I like the way it's done. But if you never watched it, you probably wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. But I picked this one up. I really like the look at this steelbook, and I don't have any of these on steelbook, but this is the Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah.
The Fast and Furious, the first movie, Fast and the Furious.
Another good artwork. Yeah. Very pretty.
It's not really a wraparound. Actually, I don't know why that light's hitting it like that, but you got
It kind of is. Yeah. Get some artwork back there.
The family.
yeah. I don't know if there's really anything inside. Oh yeah, you got the charger.
Oh, there you go.
You gotta have the interior artwork. It
Yeah.
always makes me so mad when it's just like a silver or blue or something. It's like I need artwork.
Hopefully maybe they'll release all these one at a time, the whole series like this. I wouldn't mind on the 04. I have the whole 4K set, that little box that's together.
If they would just stop making them, it would make a cool like steelbook box set. But
yeah,
and the day they make them, the day they're going to announce part 12 or whatever the fuck they're on now.
Yeah.
I have not watched this yet. This is a horror sci-fi. I don't know if Lauren's seen it. It sounded good, but I just got it in the other day. It's cheap. This one. It's called The Endless.
Oh yeah, I've got that.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I have not seen it yet though. So
I
have
think
you watched
Arrow did one.
I haven't sat down and watched it yet, but it sounds pretty cool, and that's why I picked it up.
I've meant to read. It's been on my watch.
I picked this up thinking I was going to get the. I didn't get the slip cover with it, which kind of sucks. And I don't know if there's a steelbook of it or not, but this is the 4K of Scott Pilgrim.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. Do we have 2 weeks? Because I could talk forever about Scott Pilgrim. I love that movie so much.
I've got way too many editions of Scott Pilgrim.
There's
It's
this guy. I wish I had it.
Just like you have way too many editions of Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Way too many. Way too many.
This is just some stuff that this are a couple movies I didn't have, and one of them kind of ties into Hayden Panettiere, but this one I just didn't have this on anything. Is the Book of Eli? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Denzel Washington.
that's been a
It's
while
really
since I've seen
good
that.
movie. Yeah, and I picked up Remember the Titans. I didn't own that
Nice.
on Blu-ray. I don't think any of these have 4K except obviously Scott Pilgrim does there. But and this was just a surprise, something I ordered like way back in January, and it's just something that came in today, and I thought it was something else because I ordered that He-Man, the original He-Man cartoon series on Blu-ray.
Oh
It's
yeah.
supposed to have been here yesterday, and it's supposed to be, then it didn't come in. It's supposed to have been here today. It's just been delayed. I don't know why. But this is a figure that I ordered a while back. This is part of the Neon Genesis Evangelion 30th anniversary. But this one of the characters from it. It's Rei Ayanami.
Nice.
Schoolgirl uniform. I generally don't I don't get stuff outside. They make some stuff like with all the characters and like bikinis and stuff. I don't buy that stuff because I don't buy anything that's not from the show itself. Because I think it's kind of cringe when they do that, especially these characters are underage technically. It's weird,
Right.
you know. So if it's
Speaking of 4K,
the plug suits are pretty revealing, anyways. But so technically, in the new series, they aged them up because where they were when they fought in the Evangelions, they were submerged in a fluid called LCL, which is it's something they can breathe. It's a liquid oxygen essentially, but they can breathe it being submerged in it, and it's slowed down their aging process. So they jumped in time, so they're all older, but they still look young.
speaking
They
of
time traveled essentially, but what's weird is what I take it as is LCL is ambionic fluid. It's like fluid inside a woman's womb when they're pregnant. That's how a baby breathes. They're actually breathing like a liquid oxygen essentially. It
anyway,
just goes along with the show. The show's really weird. Yeah, because LCL is like everywhere. It's because the Evangelion were actually they're like offsprings of like they used them. They're not really robots. They're actually huge like beings that they had spawned from like Lilith and Adam. You know, a lot of people don't know who Lilith is. Lilith was like the original. She was before Eve, and she wouldn't have anything to do with Adam. So she kind of went off but she. So
speaking of
but there was another female before Eve in the Bible called Lilith, and she didn't want to have anything to do essentially. And that's just putting it. This kind of that's the kind of an easy explanation of it. But she wouldn't have anything to do with Adam, so she didn't want to. So she kind of went off. I don't know the full story of her, but I know a little bit about her. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So speaking of 4Ks and everything, I think I could finally get a seat at this table because that same day that I picked up this monstrosity that shall remain nameless, I picked something else up that day.
Uh-oh.
And what I picked up, because I used to hate this movie. I really did. Like when I was 13 years old and I saw it for the first time, I hated it because I thought it was such a perversion of the original film because I love the original film so much. I've come to really love this movie. And I finally got my very first 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray plus digital code type deal for the 1976 King Kong.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
With Jessica Lange and Jeff Bridges and Charles Grodin. So, and this includes both the theatrical and extended TV cuts. So yeah, I do. Even though the Blu-ray player, the player that I have, isn't equipped for 4K right now. I mean, and to be transparent, I have two. I have two Blu-ray players. One of them is a 4K player, but it's just not hooked up right now because the one that's actually hooked up is my region free player. But I do have a 4K player, so maybe I'll hook that up and I'll take a gander at this and see what all the hubbub's about 4K, even though my TV's only like 45 inches.
That's fine. Well, shit, guys, we've hit the 2-hour mark.
I was wanting to say, what's up, movie hunter? Good to see you. I
Oh.
mean, maybe you've been here the whole time, but we just didn't talk about SteelBooks to the end. So, there is many SteelBooks that Scott. I think I have one, but I don't have the 4K. I can't remember, but I don't have a 4K of Scott Pilgrim's. That's why I bought that. But they're probably all out of print. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what I hate about. That's the only complaint about SteelBooks and kind of higher end media, like, because it's so limited. They're purposely creating like this secondary market that's kind of bullshit, you know.
Wait, you're talking about Jody's livelihood there, right? SteelBooks.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's
Crony
Yeah.
capitalism.
yeah. They need to. I mean, I get it. I get why they're limited and everything like that. But I mean, the part I really hate is when they're limited and you get them, and then people start flipping them, and then they reissue them, and so people that paid like double the money are like, "Hey guys, the shit."
Yeah.
But,
That's the stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna,
sells them in a kind of a fair marketplace where you bid on them, at least,
yeah, at least that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If they would just stick to limited, like, hey, we have these, when they're gone, they're gone. But I hate the reprints just piss me off.
Everything's limited. There's not infinite.
Yeah.
But they're extremely limited. Some of these things, like some of the I'm talking more of the premium stuff, not so much SteelBooks. A lot of those get printed in quite a decent enough volume, but like some of these other companies are like single one-off movies that, and it's kind of like some of that stuff you've shown, and I don't have problem with people buying them, but some of that stuff never gets another version of it on like a 4K version, and that's it. That's only that's the only way you can find it is they ran like 200 printings of something that you'll never get again, and that's the kind of stuff that pisses me off. That there needs to be a wider, there needs to be more distribution, but it's put out by a company. That's all they can do.
And you want to know what pisses me off even more is when people go in, when this stuff is, issued in limited quantities, and these people, and I get it, it's a hustle, it's a side hustle, it's a grind and everything else. But when these people go in and buy mass quantities of these things then resell them for a big old profit.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to interject in, that's really irritating, where they buy globs of them and then they put them on eBay or whatever for like double the price or whatever.
That's a secondary market I was kind of referring to. It's just eBay's bad about just running prices crazy high.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, agree.
That's not what Jody's doing. Just
No.
No. I'm not accusing him of that or anything. I'm just saying that's one thing that's done that I just can't stand. I mean, I was so lucky because I love this movie. I was so lucky when who was it? Was it Synapse Films and Red Shirt Media? I think was the label, when they finally put out the 1986 Trick or Treat. I managed to score one of those from Synapse before that particular cover got sold out. But you want to know something? It's like Anne Bancroft in The Freaking Graduate. It's seducing me. I want to get the other artworks. The other artworks that were done for that, like the A, B, and C. I want to have all of them, but I don't think I'll ever have all of them because now they're going up to like $200 a pop or $100 a pop or whatever. It's crazy insane.
Yeah,
it's getting crazy.
I mean, you buy it because you love the movie. You don't buy it just to be like, hey, you don't buy it to be a Jody and be like, hey, Lauren, look what I got.
Of course you do. when you have the platform, you must utilize it.
Utilize it. Jody. No, I'm the same way, where I remember around in like 2020, I needed. I'm a huge Last of Us fan. And so the second game was coming out in 2020 when everyone was locked in their bunker. So I was just like super really excited. Like that was like my big thing. It finally arrived and stuff like that. But it was just like I was just so worried because I didn't go through PlayStation. I went through like an eBay seller and stuff like that. But I also knowingly like understood that they bought in bulk so that they could it wasn't more very much more than the original pricing, so that I picked the right seller. But I saw people that were quadrupling the price, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like I don't like that. I mean, it's not that this is a new concept. It's been happening. Basically,
And
the internet exists, but but yeah, very frustrating.
And what are our thoughts now that we're on this kind of a wavelength of conversation? I know we got to wrap this show up because it's already like 10:21 over here. But what are our thoughts on people going out there and getting their VHS tapes graded and everything and putting them in them glass things and then like selling them for like $200 when really they're only worth like a quarter?
I don't understand grading movies. I really don't. It's a thing now. It's moved from comic books and collector cards over to your VHS and God only knows what else. I don't see how the people that are grading them can justify what they're saying things are worth. Because I mean, literally, you're literally just getting on. You're taking somebody's item, going into your office in the back, and hopping on eBay. I'm like, all right, what was the last 10 sold for? You know, well, that's how much it's worth. And I'm as a collector, I don't want my shit locked up in a fucking acrylic case. I mean, if I love something, I'm going to put a protector on it, but I'm going to be able to get it out of it when I want to.
Yeah.
Movies were meant to be watched, not framed, except for that Django thing you got prematurely or whatever.
Right.
Well, the big controversy, I think, has been in like video games where they've like copies of Super Mario Brothers and stuff like up to $1 million and crazy stuff like that, and it's just stupid. And there's nothing. I don't understand. Really, and the copies aren't really special other than it's being sealed and mint. Other than that, because that's. I've watched some people talk about it. It's truly is like a crony capitalism type market. It's very artificial. It's a bit.
And it brings
artificially inflated market. Yeah.
And it brings up this whole other thing, bro, of like, you know, I love how people, especially the hipsters nowadays, treat VHS as if it's this ancient artifact from the bygone times. Like, yeah, like, dude, I still use VHS to record my TV show on. Like, get off me. You know what I mean?
I still remember when it was VHS. I remember when there wasn't an internet and that. And you're calling me retro when you say that shit. Like, I hate it. Yep, I agree.
Well, I guess you missed my new name I've coined.
Oh yeah, what was that? You did say it last week. What is it?
Yes, the Nostalgia Tard.
Yeah, there you go.
It's got out of control. I think it's got out of control. I'm a nostalgic person, but I'm kind of nostalgic. My feelings are kind of nostalgic. I get nostalgic when I feel, see something that reminds me of something, human emotion.
But now nostalgia has become a business, it's become a market, become an industry.
It's kind of got out of control because, and I think I talked about it last week, how, I'm sorry, I know we need to quit, but, I talked about how, I lost my train of thought, but,
nostalgia tards and all that. Nostalgia tards and all that.
No, no. I know what I was trying to think where I was going to go with it, but I talked about how we, I talked about how like probably especially the past 20 years, the last several decades really are kind of bland it's not like you have this big distinction between like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. You know, each of those decades, at least to me, maybe maybe millennials, people born in 2000, may look back at 2010, the 2000, 2010 differently, but I don't. I feel like I can distinctly look back, and at least of the years that I've lived through the 80s and 90s, and know that there's a distinction between those years. There's songs and things that feel different.
Yeah.
There's things that feel different. But I don't, obviously I didn't live the 50s, 60s, and 70s, but I can look at those decades and see that the movies and the pop culture of those eras feel different in each era. For the most part. Obviously there's some lap over between each years, but you know, the 70s were kind of shit, but you know, the music was really, the movies are really good, but they're dark. It has a darker feeling because you came out of the 60s, the love generation, and dropped in like this dark period. It's almost like the end of a lot of people say the end of the 60s was the Manson murders, you know, so it kind of cast this dark shadow over the 70s, and you have a lot of these anti-heroes in movies. And then it got brought back out with Star Wars, you know, with that type of movie, and then you kind of roll into the 80s where you have the kind of electronic era, the punk rock era, and you know, you come out, you know, that kind of stuff. And then 90s kind of, you got the grunge era. You know, you have these different eras, and I just don't feel like the past 20 years to me has been as distinct as those decades.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. I was just gonna chime in and say, like, I completely agree. Like, I'm a 90s girl, so I grew up in the 90s, but then I always loved to go back to like the 80s, 70s, like in like the 60s, 50s, and stuff like that. So I love getting to experience things that were created before I existed and stuff like that. And then, like you said, like each generation had like kind of a very like we understood what we were doing. And what did you call it? Like a nostalgia tard? Is that what you called it? I would call what we're going through right now is a modern tard, where we don't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of like smashing a couple of bits of Play-Doh together and seeing if it works.
Well, I think
it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
I think what we're experiencing is the generation that was born with the internet is grown up enough to realize how much it fucked everything up.
Yes.
Like so now they're actually starting to process things of like, oh shit, the 80s, the 90s, especially the little bit of the early 2000s, that was the time. And then we fucked it all up. And so these kids are getting older, and they're regressing back to before their time, and they're learning, oh shit, things were cool. Like things were a lot better than they are right now.
But then they call us retro. I'm like, hi,
listen, things that I own and things that I love have been called vintage, and I don't appreciate it.
Well, how do you think I feel? Look at this. You know,
I see it, man. I see it.
I mean, how do you think I feel with all my interests? I mean,
I know.
If that's vintage, then this is, you know, beyond like
classic.
This is beyond well done. This is like a burnt steak.
Black and white. You try to show in a black and white movie, they're gonna be like, "What are you trying to take me back into the 1900s?" Like,
But I've got a store less than 20 minutes from my house in the main square of my city that is all retro. And I say retro because it's like 80s, 90s. That place is packed all the time. And it is just like this dude's found his niche. I need to be best friends with this guy. But you go in there and it's literally it's kids, my kids' age, looking at things like, holy shit, this is cool. And then there's people like me in there going, I owned that. Where did you find this? And so it's like,
cool.
It's the greatest store I've been into. He's actually had to buy the building next to it and expand because it just got so big so fast.
What kind of stuff is this? Is everything? It's just
anything you can think of.
Media, any clothes?
Yes, clothes, media. He has like, I hadn't been in there for a while since he did his expansion. So the time before last I went, I was surprised to see this new door open in this whole other room. And I just happened to just jokingly, because I walked in with an Airheads shirt on, and the guy behind the counter was like, "We just got that on VHS," and I said, "I'm gonna buy it." And so I grabbed it, and I just had to be like, "Hey, do you guys got laser discs?" And he was like, "I've got so many laser discs." And there's like a whole laser disc section over the new part of the building. But yeah, I mean, he's got the clothes, he's got VHS, he's got CDs, he's got anything you could think of from what I like to call my time. And it's just in this store, reasonably priced. So that's exciting. I can actually afford this shit again.
No, that's awesome. I do the same thing where I frequent this used bookstore out here in Dallas where things just like come up and just like, oh, you're looking for like some old school like Disney VHSs, like I got some over here for you, or like this classic book that you haven't been able to find, like it's over here, it's like 1950s, or like yeah, I love how like that kind of shopping is so special, you know.
You brought up
in the late 90s, early 2000s, I remember the retro people, what they were wearing were like the late 60s, early 70s stuff. They were wearing those type of clothes, the more hippie, or what they wore, the rock and rollers and stuff wore. Yeah. Cause I knew a guy that played in a band in St. Louis that he, sorry, Lauren, but he worked at a retro store, but that's what they sold, that type of clothing, you know. So now it's just moved up 20 years, you know. It does do that, but yeah.
I took my 16-year-old school clothes shopping, and we just happened to go to Old Navy, and they literally have a section of jeans called 90s style.
Oh no!
I was you stole my thunder, because I was just about to say that exact thing. Or it's like now it's like 90s stuff, like in today's times is like this is the hot trend to wear, and it's just like I was wearing that when I was a kid.
Yeah. It's like those are called Jinkos, son. They're called Jinkos, and you should love them and appreciate them.
Okay, good. It's a boy.
They weren't cool
for
for a while, and all of a sudden they're cool again because they're retro. And like
I'm hoping having 2 daughters, one of which is only like almost 4. I'm really hoping the style doesn't come back where you got the thongs, hips over coming out the jeans.
The low-rise jeans. Those are big right now, aren't they?
I don't need that look to come back while I'm a father. Just don't.
Yeah, especially as a dad. Yeah, we hope for that not.
It's like, come on, guys, leave a little bit.
Big gigantic pant. Is that what's big? That's what was big.
Yeah,
because I wasn't cool enough to really, because I would just buy, you know, I had the regular, you know, with the wide bottoms, you know, what they were, the boot. It wasn't boot cut. They were big, but I had some friends that were. I had some people I went to school with, they were friends, but they went to extreme. You know, they were so big that they would walk on them. They eventually just got shredded on the bottom. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember those.
Yeah.
I had go ahead.
Well, they weren't bell bottoms, but they were that same concept of bell bottoms, but the whole pant leg was wide. It came down. The whole thing came down wide, and it was a skater style. Really, that's where it came from. Yeah. Thank you, Movie Hunter. That's all right. Thank you. Good to see you here. I missed one of your comments. The last 10 years are the great digital area. Unfortunately, it doesn't stand out now because it lost.
You know, there's something I've been meaning to say for the past 15 minutes.
That's a good one. Yes.
What do you got to say?
That weird.
Well, I remember back in the day when if you wanted to watch Shrek on the go, you watch it on a freaking Game Boy video cartridge, and you were thankful.
Yeah.
Right. Or a portable DVD player, you know?
Yeah.
At like 15 frames per second.
It's a press and stop, and like it's simple. Like I recently purchased on eBay a Game Boy Color.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited, by the way, guys. But I'm like doing one of these. I'm just like, I'm like, but I absolutely love it, and it's such nostalgia, and I miss that kind of stuff where like these. And I don't mean to sound like an old lady, but these kids these days they don't understand. Like
What?
that was just so cool. It's handheld. It's right there. Or I don't know what console guys you guys are, but I'm a PlayStation girly. So I've owned every single PlayStation console. So like I still remember playing Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on the original PlayStation and like doing one of these. And like I love that. I have a whole story about PC Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I don't even know if you guys want to hear about that, but but I have so many experiences with that kind of stuff. And then it was like that with AOL, where it's like you're never gonna get that. You're never gonna understand it. So I think that's something.
Internet discs in the mail, yeah, that whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, something to hold on to where it's just like you just don't get it. Like, don't call me retro. You're wearing my jeans, but you don't understand anything else about it.
You may be wearing my jeans, but you've never played a game of Minesweeper in your life, and it shows.
Thank you very much. Exactly.
Dude, it's getting out of hand. I've stumbled across into whatnots, what they call vintage. This is how I learned I was vintage. Vintage clothing sales, and you look and there's like over 100 people watching this live stream of this auction. They're putting up T-shirts that I owned in the 90s.
No, what?
They put up a T-shirt that I know I owned. Guess how? I've probably talked about this before because I've told everybody by now. Guess how much this T-shirt sold for?
$100.
You wish.
Oh no.
$100.
What was it? I can't remember what shirt. You've talked about it, but I can't remember what shirt it
Trouser
was.
or something.
It was a white T-shirt with Kurt Cobain's face on it.
Oh.
And it sold for $400. I bought that shit at Hot Topic, motherfuckers. And I like the next day I was at my mom's house and I was like, tell me my shit is still here because I don't know what I did with it all. I have no idea where all those shirts went. And she's like, no, it's not here. I was like, okay,
my God.
I guess my dumbass just sent it all off to Goodwill. I don't know.
I don't know what happened to it, but when I was a kid, I don't think my mom kept it. I don't think we have it anywhere. But when I was a kid, I had one of those Michael Jackson jackets, one of the ones with all the zippers on them.
Yeah.
Oh, the Thriller?
Yeah, Thriller stuff.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't think she kept it. I don't think.
No.
Oh my God. No, that's heartbreaking.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. You got these.
It might be boxed up somewhere. So it could be, but I don't
what's
know.
funny is you got these 20-something-year-old kids on there selling these clothes, and they're like, check out this vintage shirt, and it's just to watch the price just go up and up and up on this bullshit that I used to own. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
No, that pisses me off to high hell.
Before I get your name wrong, is it Dale M. Andrews or Dalem Andrews? Because you don't
Dale Man Drews.
Is it Dale Mandrews? Maybe it is. Maybe
Dale
it is.
Andrews.
I had a
Dalem
Felix the
Andrews.
Cat. Felix the Cat X Kiss shirt from Columbia House CD Club, and it
R.I.P. by the way.
like 160. Good grief.
Good
Yeah.
grief.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful. I'd be kicking
that's
myself.
crazy.
That sucks.
I don't remember having a lot of music T-shirts. I had like I didn't collect a lot of that, wear a lot of that stuff back then. I would have definitely had I had a Smashing Pumpkin shirt when I went and seen them in concert. In '96. That was
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a woman or young woman, whatever you want, I always would wear like a band shirt, and it was back in the day where it was still cool for nerdy guys to be like, name 3 songs from this band that you're wearing. And I was like, I can do that, but also, do I owe you that right now? Here,
you know what, Lauren, I've been guilty of doing that. Like, I was at a farmer's market some years back, and I saw a girl wearing a Marilyn Monroe shirt, and I went up to her and I was like, "Hey, so how'd you like Some Like It Hot?" And she looked at me like what the hell was I talking about?
See, that's part of the problem. So like, I'm not pointing at you, but like the dingbats that want to like quiz you, and then also the people that just wear the shirt and not know anything about the band. Like, you're part of the problem. Like,
Yeah.
I know what I'm wearing and I will talk to you about it. Actually, in fact, you'll try to have to glue yourself away from me talking to me about what I love about what I'm wearing. So yeah, it is very frustrating. But
it's like people who wear Che Guevara shirts. Like, do you know who that is? Like, do you really know who you're wearing on your shirt right now?
Like,
Yeah, especially liberals wearing them. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I say it stuff. I'm a kind of a middle ground kind of person, but yeah, Che Guevara, he slaughtered, was known for slaughtering like gay people. He slaughtered a bunch of homosexual people in Central America. Yeah, like that's one of the things he did. So, but yes, they don't know who he was.
No,
And see, this is why we learn our history, people, because if we don't learn our history, we are doomed to repeat it. So that's why I watch Bob Seale westerns.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I can learn my history.
That's right. All right, shit, guys, we've gone 30 minutes over 2 hours.
Yeah, Charlie literally tried to jump in here, but his picture's not up. So, but we need to end it.
He's probably wondering why the fuck we're still on.
Hello, Charlie. My name is Geno. I'm sorry that we didn't get to formally meet tonight, but hopefully we get to at some point. Ooh.
I don't know if he's got any audio.
Charlie, are you here? Charlie?
I don't know. I hope he wasn't there.
I have audio.
There he is.
Yeah.
You're having the opposite problem that I had trying to get on earlier. I had picture and no audio.
No, I turned my camera off on purpose because I'm in bed.
Oh, Charlie's sleepy. All right. Well,
I saw that you guys were still going, and I was like, "Wow."
I know. We got on some rants this evening. But hey, you're here, so you can be part of the salute goodbye. We're gonna go roundabout. We're gonna start with our good buddy Geno down here. Geno, let everybody know where they can find you.
All right, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/official Geno Cuddy. That is Geno Cuddy. You can find me on Instagram at official Geno Cuddy. You could find me. My YouTube channel is Geno's House of Rare Films. You could find my podcast, Heart to Heart, the William S. Hart podcast, wherever you could find great podcasts like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio podcasts. You can find my television program, Sunset Cuddy Six Gun Theater, on my channel, Geno's House of Rare Films, as well. And I do have a blog called blazingjustice.blogspot.com, where I review a bunch of silent westerns and beat westerns. So, there's no shortage of ways for you to get a hold of me. And I'll also give out the email that I give out on my show. If you want to email me at sunsetcuddy@gmail.com.
There it is. And after our guests, it's always ladies first. Lauren, where can everybody find you?
I'm primarily on Instagram. I'm analyzing horror. I have the British spelling, so it's S instead of Z. And then I also am on like Twitter. I write a lot of reviews on Letterboxd for movie reviews and stuff like that. And those are basically our primary spots.
Nice. Charlie, besides down the road from me here in about a week and a half, where can everybody find you?
Raging Entertainment, with Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for the most part. I do have a Facebook page. You can find me on there as well. So just look up Raging Entertainment.
There it is. John, how about yourself, buddy?
Bewitched Collector on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And I'll be starting putting out some games. I had a little bit of injury this week to my finger, so I haven't been doing much when it comes to that kind of work. I've been doing other work, but not putting out videos. So, I'll be getting back on that, putting some shorts out for the Cult of Collectors and making some videos for mine. And that's about it. But I apologize. I do want to say thanks for everybody for showing up this evening. We got Dale, Movie Hunter.
Yes,
we got
for
a bunch
sure.
of people. We had Chris in here earlier. We got Pebbles and Acres.
Bam Bam?
Stacy.
Got Bam Bam in here
Pebble,
too.
Got Pebble 69.
I see what you did there.
Now, John, you're a Bewitched collector. Does that mean you have every possible version, every possible copy of C'est La Vie?
No.
I thought he was going to do a whole "I Dream of Jeannie" or "Bewitched" itself for you.
No,
Yeah.
no, this is a deep cut. 90s Irish girl groups. Yeah.
No. Bewitched comes from ultimately it comes from, obviously it was a TV show, but my grandfather named his drag car Bewitched in 1965, and it comes from that. Then my dad had a pulling truck he had a pulling truck in the 80s, early 80s. It was called Bewitched. It's just it became a kind of family name for racing vehicles. So I just took it. So I don't do that I don't do that. So I named my channel that finally after many iterations. I like it. So it stuck.
We've been here for
And
them
I
all.
just like the whole concept of being bewitched. As a man, you can be bewitched by a female witch, or vice versa if you swing the other way. So
There it is. There it
be a
is.
wizard, I guess. Technically, it's a wizard. You're not a witch, but
All right. Well,
yeah,
I'm
thanks,
still,
everybody.
I'm still raising 4Ks on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. SR4K on Whatnot this Friday. We got night 2 of the boutique blowout. So I've got Criterion, I've got Vinegar Syndrome, I've got Arrow Video. Join me on Whatnot. For God's sakes, come buy some movies. Geno, this was awesome. Thanks for coming by again. We always enjoy having you. Always enjoy catching up and taking us to school on some Westerns. It's always fun. And we'll have you back on for sure. You have some more announcements you want to talk about. We'll be here for it. And
absolutely. And maybe next time we'll talk some Sinbad movies. And
there you go.
And and from now on, I'm going to use this dilapidated laptop to stream. Screw the iPad, screw the phones. I'm going to use this dilapidated screen, busted up. My X is missing from this keyboard laptop, because this seems to have worked better than all those other devices combined.
I like it.
Go figure.
We have a plan.
Regardless, it was lovely to get to meet you. So it was nice talking Westerns with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Geno. You're always
Yeah.
a great
All right.
guest.
Charlie, we better see you here next week.
Maybe. I'm just going to say maybe.
All right, that's fair. All right, well, we'll see everybody next Wednesday, same time, and we'll try to keep it at 2 hours. Okay.
Yep. See you guys later.
See ya.
Later.
3, 2, 1.